From Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, CBS Sports presents the San Francisco 49ers versus the New York Giants. Hi, everybody. I'm Vin Scully, along with Alex Hawkins. Boy, do they do things up around here in the big city. Your name in lights.
Gotham, the Big Apple.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, about this ball game, we got two hungry ball clubs, one victory in 8 games for both of them, and it was the Giants that picked it up against Washington. What are you looking for?
Well, the Giants have really got some problems. They've got some internal problems, I think, and there's some rumors Bob Tucker wants to be traded, and they won't throw to him, and the same old thing. Meanwhile, the 49ers have always been a mystery club. They're a better team than their record would indicate, and the Giants seem to think they're a good football team, and they just don't want them to break out on them today.
I guess you could say it would be the Sackers versus the Sackees, because last year, the Gold Rush, as they call the front four, and there's a good look at them with Hardman, Hart, Elam, and Webb. They had 61 sacks of the quarterback to lead the NFL, one more than Baltimore. Now they'll be going against a Giant ball club that has suffered 19 sacks in 4 games. However, the Gold Rush has been relatively quiet with only 9 sacks thus far. There are the officials. Cassian Demis, Marion Fett, Faushan Kings were just about ready for kickoff time. And for the 49ers, the newest face, Ray Wersching. And he'll be kicking to the Giant deep men. And Bob Hammond, number 33, will be the first man to pick it up, along with Gordon Bell, number 25. Ray Wersching just joined San Francisco on Thursday. He had been with San Diego for 4 years. It'll be fielded by Gordon Bell on his 3-yard line. To the 15, spins away from Hofer and is decked inside the 20. It was Paul Hofer who slowed him down. Dave Williams finally made the initial hit. Here is the Giant offensive line with Gravel, Van Horn, Chandler starting over Hill, Hicks, and Mikolajczyk. The men who will handle the ball, Jimmy Robinson, Emery Moorhead, and Bob Tucker. In the backfield, Joe Pisarcik, Doug Coder, and Larry Zonker. The Giants put it in play, 1st and 10. The ball on their own 19-yard line. Robinson is wide left. In motion comes Emery Moorhead. Coder, the second man out of the eye, gets across the 20 to the 23. Ralph McGill came up to stop, along with Skip Vanderbunt. Here's the front four. You've already seen their pictures. Hart, Webb, Elam, and Hardman. Some hard noses. Linebackers with Harper, Vanderbunt, and Washington. Then you have at the corners Leonard and Taylor. The strong safety is Phillips, and the free safety Ralph McGill. 2nd and 7 from the 22 for the Giants. Robinson left. Here comes Coder again, but he runs into a mob scene at the 25-yard line. Last week in the rain against the Eagles, as the Giants were hit and punished on 3 bombs, the running attack, among other things, the great name of Larry Zonka, was associated with carrying the ball 3 times for 3 yards. Hawk, that's a shocker.
It really is. That's incredible for a guy with a great past that he's had.
Well, Joe Pisarcik, a rookie, has his ball club 3rd down now on their own 25. Here comes Coder. He gets a block from Zonka, and as he tries to cross the 25, he's belted down by Washington and Phillips.
Mel Phillips is just the equivalent of a linebacker out there. He's one heck of a tough guy. Plays the run extremely well.
So Pisarcik, who had 4 sacks and 4 interceptions against Philadelphia last week, stays on the ground on the first sequence, moves the ball to the 26, and he'll give it up. Anthony Leonard standing all alone on his 34-yard line, and Dave Jennings will be doing the punting from his own 15. Nobody coming, and Jennings hangs it high for Leonard. He'll take it on his 28-yard line. A great block will spring him across the 40-yard line, and the man who threw the block was Ayers. And a flag on the play. So number 68, normally in the offensive line, John Ayers was the man who threw that block.
You got it. You got it. Boy, it seems like anytime you have any kind of run back at all, you see those flags. More penalties this year than I can ever remember. The coaches, regardless of which club, they're not much in favor of it. They've all written the officials and asked them what in the world is wrong. It's slowing up the games.
Well, we'll get our first call of the day now on that return.
We've got clipping number 68. and number 55 on the receivers. Illegal man downfield on the kickers. We'll play it over.
Take a look at it again and see if we can pick up that clip. And I believe you see it right there. That's Ayers, all right, going right up his back.
He had a clip on one man and a pretty good block on Reese to take him out, but there was an ineligible receiver downfield, so they'll have to do the play over again. So Anthony Leonard goes back to his own 35, and Dave Jennings will come back in and do the punting again.
Well, John McVay feels that going into today's game, the 49ers are a better team than their 0-4 record would indicate. He felt that he's got to, absolutely has to establish a running game. He wasn't successful in that first series.
Dave Jennings was second in the NFC last year and fifth in the NFL. He can boot him. High pass from center, but he got it away. Hung it again for Leonard. Has to back off to his 28-yard line, and Leonard is dragged down. The first man to hit him was Perkins, and Enda got down there along with Ed Dvorak, number 66, and then Jim Peterzak. So the 49ers will take over 1st and 10 on their own 32. There's the offensive line with Barrett and Lawson, Cross, Peoples, and Farnhorst. The men who should handle passes, Gene Washington along with Kenny Harrison and the tight end Tom Mitchell. In the backfield, Jim Plunkett along with Wilbur Jackson and Delbert Williams. Plunkett playing with sore ribs. Delvin Williams has a knee bruise.
Jim Plunkett off to a slow start this year, only completing 47% of his passes. Fact is, over the last 6 years, he's only completed 50% or more only twice, man.
His average is 88 yards a game passing. He's the only one in the NFL less than 100 yards.
That don't get it.
And he'll stay with Wilbur Jackson as he goes inside a block by Keith Farnhorst. Gets across the 35 out to the 37. Good block by Keith Farnhorst, number 71. Here's the Giant defensive line. Jeter, Mendenhall, Archer, and Gregory. With Van Pelt, Carson, and Kelly in the linebacking role. At the corners, Bryant and Rhodes. And at the safeties, Powers and Steinke. 2nd and 5 from the San Francisco 37. Gene Washington wide left, Jim Lash wide right. The backs are split. Delvin Williams got a block from Woody Peebles and gets out to the 39. Peebles had pulled to lead the pack.
He missed Woody Peebles last year. He missed a good bit of the year with, in fact, he was out the entire season with a knee injury last year. There's Larry Zonka. He's not out of last week at all. Oh, gracious, do you remember, though? Do you remember those days when he was with the Dolphins?
3rd and 3 now as Plunkett trying to generate a drive from his own 39. Kenny Harrison is on the left side. They put Williams and tight end Mitchell over there. Now Harrison in motion. So he's on Washington's side, and Wilbur Jackson behind Barrett's block gets the first down to midfield. Gene Barrett, number 77, through the block that opened the door.
Veteran of 5 years, number 2 draft choice for the 49ers. Pretty good athlete. Watch him as he pulls this time. Gene has played center and guard. He's a good athlete. Number 77, and watch Wilbur Jackson. There's a guy that should be running a whole lot better than he is. Only averaging, what, 2.5 yards per carry, and he's a better back than that.
He only had 1 touchdown in 44 NFL games. That's really a shocker. So our first down at midfield, and it's the 49ers. Washington left and Lash right. Here comes Wilbur Jackson and brought down by Kelly. Has anybody here seen Kelly?
Yes, sir. Wilbur Jackson just did.
Friends, this telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Giants and the National Football League is prohibited. Brian Kelly out of California Lutheran.
He was the leading tackler on the Giants squad last year, but they don't feel like he's their strongest linebacker, even so.
They lose 4, 2nd and 14 from the 46. A rush by Powers. He's trailing Delvin Williams. Jackson and Van Pelt lowers the boom as he cannot get back to more than the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard.
Oh, and his Tom Mitchell disgusted with that. The blocking was there, and why he didn't get more out of that, well, let's take a look and see. The blocking is out there. You see Wilbur Jackson leading the way. Tom Mitchell sticking with his block. You can see him on Van Pelt. He should have stayed outside. Had 2 blockers out there. It just was not a poor job of selecting the hole by Dale Williams.
who is playing with a knee bruise, and Van Pelt probably tried to add to that a little. So it's 3rd and 11 from the 49. Lash right and Washington left. Mitchell on the right side. Ooh, Archer jumping around in the Giant line. Plunkett high, and a great catch, and landing on his head is Tom Mitchell. Oh, what a catch and what a landing.
He is a competitor. If you remember the competition he's faced, Plunkett with adequate pass protection there. Archer didn't help himself trying to get back. Watch this Jim Mitchell. When he was at Baltimore, gracious. All he had to go up against was Ray Chester, beat him out, beat John Mackey out. When he was with the 49ers, who was the tight end, Kwalik, he played ahead of him. Guy from Bucknell, and brother, I played with him in Baltimore. He is a competitor.
He has his own pilot's license. He sure needed it that time to find the runway.
You got it.
He came down on the nose. All right, 1st and 10 from the Giant 38. Mitchell on the right side. Harrison in a slot, but now in motion. Delvin Williams. He has Peoples throwing a block, but it doesn't do any good for the moment, and down he goes. He threw a block on Clyde Powers, and Powers just shrugged it off.
You betcha. Bill Bryant came up to force it, too. That's something the Giants secondary cannot be faulted for. They're not the greatest secondary in the league, but they do play the run pretty well. They'll come up and turn it. They're tough kids.
Wilbur Jackson, who is normally an excellent blocker, and he's 6'1", 213. Clyde Powers is 6'1", 195, and he didn't even shiver on that block. So it is 2nd and 10 from the 38. Ash wide right, Washington wide left. The backs are split. And Plunkett will send it up again under a rush from Jeter. Down the middle to Wilbur Jackson. He's got it at the 30. Not enough. He still has about 3 yards to go for a first down, but Plunkett is 2 for 2.
Wilbur Jackson, the first black athlete at the University of Alabama. They expected great things from him when they drafted him, I guess, number 1. He's had some so-so seasons. He's ready to break loose, so he's a better football player than he's been playing. Strong runner. Had some problems with fumbling last year and the year before.
There's a good look at Joe Pisarcik, the young quarterback of New York, charged with the responsibility of trying to pick up their 2nd win of the year. Meanwhile, the 49ers are coming now. 3rd and 2 from the Giant 30. 2 tight ends are in there, so the Beef Trust. And it'll be Wilbur Jackson bumping into Farnhorst, and that messed up the play. Keith Farnhorst could not get a block off, and Jackson just bumped into him and was stymied.
Joe Thomas had it pretty much on the nose when he said they're playing with no intensity. The 49ers just can't do anything consistently. That's killed them all this year so far in the 4 games.
So Ray Wersching, who has spent 4 years with San Diego and was picked up Thursday by the 49ers. Tom Woodham was doing both punting and kicking. However, it was too much, and Woodham's punting became very erratic. So Wersching, 5-year veteran out of the University of California, 27 years old. This will be his first attempt, and it's a beauty. He's got to kick it 50 yards. It is good. What a way to break in.
You got it.
Welcome to the ball club, Ray Wersching with a 50-yard field goal. The Giants leading down 3-0 to San Francisco.
Introducing the Ford in your future, the new Ford Fairmont wagon, a new wagon designed for today and the years ahead. The Fairmont wagon has excellent mileage ratings, but while it is trim and lean outside, Fairmont has almost 90% of the passenger space of most large wagons, and with the seat down can swallow up all this cargo. Yet for all this, the new Fairmont wagon as shown is actually sticker price less than this little VW Rabbit. Test drive Fairmont, the newest better idea from the Wagon Master.
I want you to be the first to know. I joined the Army, so I guess it means goodbye. Chris, I joined the Army, so I guess this means goodbye. Susie, I've joined the Army, so I guess it's goodbye. I joined the Army, so I guess it's goodbye. I'm leaving for the Army next week.
When did you join?
Last July.
With the Army's delayed entry program, if you qualify, you can enlist now and take up to 12 months to say goodbye. Contact your local Army representative.
60 yards in 10 plays, capped on a 50-yard field goal by Ray Wersching. San Francisco leading the Giants 3-0, and we just about warmed up the stadium with 6:56 to go in the first quarter. Hammond and Bell are deep, and the kick will go to the 5 to Gordon Bell. To the 15, Huffer slowed him up, and down he goes. That's the second time Paul Hofer, number 36, is quick to get down there and nail the kickoff receiver.
And the 49ers special teams have not been good this year.
The CBS Sports Spectacular, featuring unboxing Leon Spinks and Scott Ledoux, Michael Spinks and G. Summerhays, B. Mercado and Greg Johnson, and a lot more besides that. The world's strongest men competition. That's next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Giants put it in play. 1st and 10 on their own 20. Zonka and Coder split behind Pisarcik, and it's Coder across the 20, 25, still on his feet. And it was Mel Phillips who hit him low, Anthony Leonard who hit him high, and he finally got it down, but a good carry.
And if you wonder if Larry Zonka can still block, well, watch him. He's the lead blocker this time. Good block by Bob Tucker also. You see him just completely destroying Jimmy Webb there, and a good hole for Coder. There's that Mel Phillips again. Gracious, what a tough kid. 5 broken arms in 3 seasons.
2nd and 2 from the Giant 28-yard line. And it's a quick hitter to Zonka, and he's got the first down. The Larry Zonka hits across the 30, and that's enough. And the Giants pick up their first down of the day.
Well, since the opening victory over the Redskins, the Giants offensively have just not gone well. They're the 12th team in the NFC in total offense.
I think that's Willie Harper, Hawk, down on the, yep, it is. Willie Harper,
down.
the left linebacker, shaken up. So we've got 5:55 in the first quarter. 49ers 3, Giants nothing.
We're number 1. When do you say Budweiser?
When we beat State by 10 points.
In my day, we beat him by 4 touchdowns.
Hey, Charlie. Hey. Remember the old grip?
Do I ever?
When do you say Budweiser?
Right now. Right, ladies?
Right.
Whether you're coming home to your alma mater or just coming home after a day at work, any time that's right for a cold beer is perfect for the consistently smooth taste of the king of beers.
Well, Martha, thank goodness some things never change.
Here's to you, pal.
When you say Budweiser, Budweiser, you said it all.
Play friends, a reminder, 2 mighty forces war over who shall rule the Star World of the 24th century in tomorrow's powerhouse adventure of Logan's Run. Watch for it at 8 o'clock, 7 Central and Mountain Time tomorrow.
Saw it last week, and they got nobody with pointed ears.
Not a soul.
Nah.
Well, Willie Harper's shaking no to whatever question they're asking him. He is hurting. The 5-year man out of Nebraska really took a lick. Mike Balderson will have to pick up for him.
Willie's probably the best of the linebackers, too. They'll miss him. Balderson, a rookie out of Washington.
Well, we'll see now if they put a little extra heat on that strong side linebacker with Skip Vanderbund in the middle and Dave Washington on the weak side. And here come the Giants, having just picked up their first down. 5:48, and it is 3-0 San Francisco. Robinson is left, Marshall is right. And it's Coder, brought down by Dave Washington and Mel Phillips. Dave Washington, by the way, number 50, is a cousin of the wide receiver Gene Washington.
Good blocks that time by Doug Van Horn and Gordon Gravel. What are we doing here now? Trying to get something together.
Brian Kelly, along with other members of the Giant defensive squad, getting some defensive positionings from up top here. 2nd and 3 from the 37. The Giants rolling 17 yards thus far after the kickoff. Robinson and Marshall split. Here comes Washington on a blitz, and Coder gets to the 40-yard line. So Washington and Bruce Elia were coming, number 50 and number 55, and Giants were still able to pick it up, although they have about a yard to go for another first down.
Green Bay out in front of Detroit, 3-0. That's a 21-yard field goal by Chester Marco.
What was Paul Hornung saying on the pregame show? He has never been assigned to a Green Bay game where they lost.
That's good for Bart Starr
so far. So the Giants needing a yard, 3rd and 1. And it's Coder. And he should have the first down thanks to that leap. But Doug Coder flying through the air. Coder, a 4-year man out of Kentucky.
Big blocks on that right side by Ron Michalocek and John Hicks. I guess Michalocek, when he came over from the World Football League, changed it. That's what we used to call him then. What is it, Michalacek?
Yep, now it's Michalacek.
Well, I'll be confusing that all day.
Coder had suffered a head injury. He wears a special helmet. Last year, he really busted one 53-yard touchdown against Atlanta. That was the Giants' longest run from scrimmage. Pisarcik to Coder behind Zonka. He gets across the 45-yard line.
Probably the best of that front four is Cleveland Elam, number 72. Let's watch him there. Doug Van Horn, probably the best Giant offensive lineman. Cleveland Elam just too big. However, Van Horn holds his own.
Interesting on that defensive play, Elam plays a lot as a nose guard over the center. He was not over center, so there was a considerable gap between Elam and Hick, and that's where they went, and they got it the first down through Webb's side. Go to 2nd and 5. And again Zonka. And Zonka ran into Gravel, who was stacked up in hand-to-hand combat with Hardman, and that's why that was a busted play.
That Lee Zonka through the years has taken a beating, hasn't he? Battering ram style that he uses, doesn't protect himself at all. It's a wonder he's lasted this long.
That must be frustrating. If you are a runner in this instance, you have your big tackle Gravel putting a block on big Cedric Hardman, and instead of getting him out of there, Hardman knocks him right back into your lap. Third and
things to come.
Oh, wow. From midfield. 2:30 to go in the quarter. Big boys are in there now, and it'll be Spencer. And he didn't appear to make it, although at the last minute he lunged forward, so it's a case of where they're going to spot the ball.
Taking a look down there, and let's look in on it where the game's really played. The defensive line, offensive lines respectively. Cleveland Elam holding his ground again. I'll tell you, John McVay told me that they absolutely had to establish a running game because you get behind on a team like the 49ers and they can cause you trouble. And he is going after it.
With 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the crowd roaring go, that's exactly what the Giants are going to do.
Why not?
4th and less than 1. And here come the Giants. Spencer is behind Zonka. And it'll be Spencer. He would appear to have it. But boy, it was tough going, Hawk.
Yes, sir. That's their short yardage man, Willie Spencer. He played a couple years in Canada, came out of Massillon High School. 6'3", about 238 pounds or something of that nature. Goes over the top end, does get it with some to spare. There's old Willie. Boy, he gained about 1,500 yards in the World Football League before he hurt his knee, but they say that's recovered. He's got a lot of potential. He really does.
He played 9 games with Minnesota, and he was also cut by Washington. He is a much-traveled ball player.
Yes, so a lot of the Giants.
Yeah. 1st and 10 from the 49er 47. Oh, grabbed by Elam, and still Coder got away. Elam had him by the neck.
Good effort there by Coder. Elam was back there in a hurry. Let's see how he got back there. Gracious. He just took it out. He gambled that time, took an outside rush. Just gamble paid off that time, but he can't hold on to him. Give a lot of credit to Coder on that.
Coder is playing with bruised ribs. He probably has a sore neck right now. 2nd and 8 from the San Francisco 45. Robinson wide right, Marshall wide left, and here comes Coder. And he runs into a group picture. The whole team was waiting for him.
It's a kind of a wonder to me that teams have had so much success running against the 49ers. They've averaged over 160 yards per game rushing against the 49ers, and they've just got better personnel than that.
One thing that weighs heavily on Coach John McVay, in his 11 games as coach of the New York Giants, they've scored only 12 touchdowns.
That ain't good, no way.
That ain't no crowd to hang around with. There are only 14 members of the New York Giants from the 1975 squad that played San Francisco. There are only 3 of 8 coaches from 2 years ago. And there it is, as we're going to the second quarter.
Ever wonder what happens to the money you keep in your checking and savings accounts? Let me show you. Some of it's here in town, put to work helping people change things for the better, like buying a new car or starting a new business. Your money's working, yet all the while, it's there when you need it, in a safe, convenient place.
America's bankers, helping you change things for the better.
Announcing a unique new motor oil from Exxon Research that can actually save money. New Golden Natural Uniflow. Uniflow was tested in cars like yours. After break-in, it delivered an overall average of 16 extra miles per tank full. Savings like that could cut your gasoline bill the equivalent of about 3 cents a gallon. New Uniflow motor oil is Exxon's best engine protection ever. It conserves gasoline, saves money.
Having dinner with clients is part of your job.
The trick is to gain a client, not lose a reputation. On Our Own tonight, following Rhoda.
Stay here, Miss Martin.
Next Sunday, CBS Sports presents these NFL regionals: Dallas versus Philadelphia, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins, Atlanta, Chicago, New Orleans, St. Louis, Detroit, and San Francisco. Next Sunday, right here on CBS. The Giants trying to keep a drive alive now. 3rd and 6, the ball on the San Francisco 43. Zonkan-Coder split. Pisarcik grabbed by Cedric Hardman. Gravel tried to keep Hardman out, but it's a losing battle.
That's exactly what happens when you get behind the 49ers. They can tee off. They've only had 9 sacks going into today's game, but that's because teams, they haven't really been ahead of teams. They've been behind. They've been able to run the ball against them. Cedric Hardman just beating Gravel on a big outside rush. That's his 2.5 sack of the year.
That's right. Anthony Leonard now goes back to his own 10-yard line, and Dave Jennings will be punting from his 35. 3-0, San Francisco, just the start of the second quarter. And they're coming, and he got it away end over end. Leonard lets it bounce, and it's not going in. It's going to die on about the 8-yard line. So it got a giant kick for sure. So with 14 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the second quarter, San Francisco 3, the Giants nothing.
Honey, is this homeowner's insurance high?
I don't know. Think it's too much?
How would I know?
Compare with Allstate.
Compare?
Bring in your policy and compare rates. If you have a good deal, we'll tell you. But for many, chances are we've got a better deal.
We've got a better deal.
Allstate might save you some money, but you'll never know until you bring in your policy and compare.
Oh, that's a good deal.
When you want to save on homeowners insurance, Allstate wants to help.
That's a promise from us, the Good Hands people.
With the price of most things going up, the sticker price of Pinto, the best-selling American small car, is coming down. As of October 3rd, new 78 model Pintos with more standard features will have a lower sticker price than last year's model comparably equipped. Important features are now standard, like AM radio, power front disc brakes, rear window defroster, tinted glass, and protective body side moldings. Ford Pinto, more car for the money than last year. When America needs a better idea, Ford puts it on wheels.
Hawk, I want to hear the lump in your voice.
Not much of a surprise there. Baltimore going ahead on a 2-yard run by Ron Lee. 7-0.
1st and 10 with the 49ers on their own 8-yard line. Wilbur Jackson, Delvin Williams, and it's Delvin Williams. Nowhere. The 49ers have been shut out twice this year. The last time that happened was way back in 1960. And you talk about a hungry ball club. The 49ers come into this game 0-4. Back in 1963, they were off to their worst start. They were 0-5, went on to finish up 2-12. So they're hurting.
And we're entering the second quarter, and that's been the kiss of death for them. They've been outscored by opponents 30-3 in the second quarter.
The big question, too, is why Plunkett doesn't hit his wide receivers. We'll talk about that more in a moment. 2nd and 8 from the 10. Delvin Williams into another mob scene. A little note, in 4 games, there have been only 7 passes to wide receivers. Now, one of the all-timers is number 18, Gene Washington, and yet Washington, who averages 40 catches a year, has caught 5 in the last 4 games.
He's gotten good average and good mileage out of him, 21 yards, but he hadn't caught a touchdown pass. And my word, he's had 54 in his career.
So that's just another question that remains unsolved in the Bay Area. 3rd and 7. The ball on the 49er 11. Delvin Williams tripped, and down he goes. And I think the fellow who had the most to do with that was Steve Lawson, number 65, his own teammate, who was right there with him.
This is just one of the many things that happened to the 49ers this year. Look at this. Just trips over his own feet going outside like that. Gregory stringing the play out, still gets up. What is that? Steinke?
Mm-hmm. Came out of the left side.
Yeah.
So it's another impossible moment. 4th and 9 for a ball club with the ball on its own 9. Going back is Hammond in the single safety for New York on the San Francisco 45-yard line. Tom Whittem is asked to root it out, and he has, among other people, Skip Vanderbunt back there to block for him, and he got it away. Low. Hammond slipped, so he can't retrieve, and Dave Williams finally downs it for the 49ers, but it's inside the 40-yard line.
Wasn't nothing pretty about that punt.
No. And of course the receiver slipping and falling down, so it's 3-0 San Francisco. 12:16 to go to the half.
It's no joke when a meeting runs late and you've got to catch a plane. And if Hertz, the superstar in rent-a-car, hadn't invented express check-in, you just might be waiting in line at some rent-a-car counter while your plane is taking off. It takes a superstar to come up with time-saving ideas like express check-in. Next trip, you might need it too. So rent a Ford or other fine car from Hertz.
The superstar in rent-a-car.
That's right.
The closer you shave, boys.
The closer you shave, boys.
The more you will need.
The more you will need.
Great balls of comfort.
Great balls of comfort.
To do it with ease.
Great balls of comfort.
Oh, just like Noxzema.
Noxzema.
Great
balls of comfort to you.
The closer you shave, the more you need soothing, medicated Noxzema.
Great balls of comfort to you. Woo!
Should have bought Mobil 1. The oilet saves you gas, you know.
Should have bought Mobil 1. Helps you start at 35 below.
Should have bought Mobil 1. Your temperature hits 500. You're cool.
Should have bought Mobil 1. You only change it every 15,000 miles.
Mobil 1, the oil that does it all. Take it from an expert.
Let me hear you read that, Hawk.
Well, Baltimore went out in front 14-0 on a 2-yard run by Don McCauley.
Well, the Giants now, 1st and 10 on the 49er 38-yard line, and Pisarcik flicking back to Coder, and he's across the 30-yard line, gets down to the 20, stumbles, and is out of bounds. And they'll put him out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
All right. Great blocks there by Gordon Gravel and Doug Van Horn. They really do the job, and Coder turned it upfield there. That wasn't Coder. My goodness, who is that? Yes, it is Coder, too. Missed tackles, poor tackling there, and he breaks a tackle there by Ralph McGill.
Early by Washington.
And then that field must be wet and slippery. A lot of people will follow. Good job of blocking up there. Point of attack. That a boy.
1st and 10. The ball on the 49er 11-yard line. Zonka and Coder. Robinson to the left. Marshall to the right. Coder got his nose down to about the 7-yard line. Another interesting thing, the Giants are keeping the ball on the ground because, of course, a rookie quarterback. We should point out that the San Francisco defensive squad does not have an interception this year. In fact, there's only one other club without an interception, and that's Buffalo. So you stay on the ground, there's no way they're going to have a chance.
That's right. They're 12th against the rush in their division.
2nd and 6 from the 7. Coder is the deep man behind Zonka. Moorhead in on the right side now. Coder across the 5 to the 4-yard line. Zonka trying to blow Vanderbunt right out of the play.
Carl Chandler doing a pretty good job there at the center position.
Coder, a workhorse, has carried 13 times, and he has carried for 70 yards.
Awfully good block there by the center, Carl Chandler. Number 61. Ralph Hill, well, he's just been replaced by Chandler. Ralph Hill just a little bit weaker, I guess. Been putting a lot of people on his nose, and he hasn't been able to handle him.
3rd down and 4. The ball just inside the 5-yard line, and there they're going to the air. No good. Intended for Al Dixon. He was guarded by Ralph McGill, and the ball was thrown out of town.
Good coverage there with the 49ers secondary. Man-to-man coverage is what they played for so many years. They're mixing in more zone this year, but they're very capable back there in the secondary. Good protection by that giant offensive line. Everybody. There you see it. Everybody covered. He had no choice.
A rookie quarterback to a rookie receiver, Al Dixon, out of Iowa State, and Pisarcik missed him by plenty. And so now Joe Dinello is 6 out of 6 in point after, 4 out of 5 in field goals, and it is good. He gets him even. So on a 4th and 4, Dinello kicks it through. And with 10 minutes and 7 seconds to go to halftime, 3-3.
Polaroid's One Step is the simplest camera in the world. You don't have to focus or anything.
I thought this was the simplest camera.
This is.
I just snap the shutter and I've got the picture.
Where?
Well, I have to get it developed.
And I just press this button. A motor hands me the picture, and I see it in minutes.
It's pretty, but mine's just as simple up to when the picture comes out.
What kind of logic is that?
Mine?
Doesn't make any sense.
You mean you don't understand it?
Get the One Step.
Your car will always need new parts, but you will never need to buy another battery. Once you own the J.C. Penney battery, it never needs water, ever. And it has more power to start your car than any other car battery. So dependable, it's fully warranted for as long as you own your car. If it ever fails, return it. We'll replace it, free. Only at J.C. Penney auto centers or catalog desks. It's the last battery your car will ever need.
Remember to watch for Logan's Run, the intergalactic adventure series that hits with the impact of Star Wars, Monday nights at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time. Tomorrow, a mighty battle looms for control of the Star World. And at the end of today's broadcast, Alex Hawkins will give us an in-depth study of the word intergalactic.
Into what? They're having trouble keeping that ball on the tee down there. They're going to have a holder down there.
So Joe Dinello kicking off for the Giants. Paul Hofer is the deep man for San Francisco, and he's going to handle it in the end zone. And Hofer bobbles it, and that takes away any run back. So they'll put it in play from the 20-yard line.
The 49ers going onto the field don't look very enthusiastic, do they?
3-3 as we struggle with 9 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the second quarter. We had a field goal earlier by Ray Wersching from 50 yards. And then, as you can see, the Giants counted 38 yards in 5 plays, a 22-yard field goal by Joe Dinello to get him even. So here come San Francisco, 1st and 10 from their own 20. Delvin Williams and Wilbur Jackson. Washington right, Harrison left. Plunkett to the air. Little soft pitch to Delvin Williams. And he's going down at the 30-yard line. Carson was the first man to hit him, and then Clyde Powers.
Little zone coverage that time by the Giants. If you watch those linebackers moving out of there, Harry Carson, number 53, he just came underneath them. They dropped back deep in their coverage. There's Carson in pursuit, and he puts the hit on with the help of Clyde Powers over there.
Well, they picked up a good 9 on that little lob toss, so it'll be 2nd and 1. The ball just shy of the San Francisco 30-yard line. Plunkett trying to get a move on. 2nd and 1. Lash is right and Washington left. Wilbur Jackson spins through and butts across the 35 for the first down. Boy, that's great individual effort.
Now, that's the kind of runner he is, though. He's got tremendous leg strength, great balance, too. What a career he had at Alabama. He just hadn't put it all together in the pros so far. Good job there by number 51, Randy Cross. But look at the second effort. Yes, sir. Wilbur Jackson.
Troy Archer Number 77 of the Giants trying to stack up the play, but Steve Lawson was able to move him out of there, and that helped it. So we have 1st and 10 from the 49er 36-yard line. Harrison in motion, coming over to Gene Washington. And it's Delvin Williams. Woody Peebles blocks for him, but one block isn't good enough for 3 Giants.
Brad Van Pelt, exceptional job that time. He's a good athlete. He can play for anybody. He's not an all-pro necessarily. I believe he made it last year. He's not pre-any all-pro, but he's a good football player.
He was the National Football League Player of the Week last year against Detroit. In one game, he had 10 solo tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 intercepts. Otherwise, he didn't do a thing.
No, took the day off.
2nd and 11 from the 49er 35. Wilbur Jackson fumbled and recovered, I believe. Let's see. It was Mendenhall who stripped it, and the Giants had Brian Kelly, number 55, recovered. Watch Mendenhall.
Oh, if it isn't one thing, it's the other. Something's holding the back at all times. Wilbur Jackson, who has a history, very frankly, of fumbling. He turns it loose right there. The Giants, well, that's not so bad. That's the 9th fumble recovery ahead of the season. That puts them number 1 in all of football.
So very discouraging for the 49ers, and of course the Giants, before this big home crowd, are hungry now. 1st and 10. They put the ball in play on the 49er 37-yard line. Robinson left, Moorhead right. Play action fake by Pisarcik. All alone down to Shirk, the big tight end. Touchdown! Gary Shirk, a second-year man out of Moorhead State, plays all alone.
And he's one of 10 World Football League players on this team. Gary Shirk, not a great athlete at all, but he finds the open area there. Patterson Plank Road Joe drills it right on in there perfect. There's a missed coverage someplace. Watch Gary Shirk take it on in. Ralph McGill giving heavy pursuit, but it's too little too late.
So the Giants capitalized on the fumble by Wilbur Jackson, caused by Mendenhall, recovered by Kelly. The 37-yard touchdown pass, Pisarcik to Shirk. The point after by Danilo is good. And the Giants are in Fat City right now. 7 minutes and 37 seconds to go to the half. Giants 10, 49ers 3.
I'm yours. I don't go with married women. What are you doing in our Granada? Granada? This is my Mercedes.
Hold tight. Getting hands to my Cadillac.
Cadillac, that's the Granada. Alone at last, beloved.
Beloved?
Where's my bride?
You got that Mercedes with another man.
Another man?
The new Ford Granada. One way to tell it from Cadillac or Mercedes is its sticker price. When America needs a better idea, Ford puts it on wheels.
Are you still chained to? Gotcha. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor lets you walk away, free from nicks and cuts. Its 36 surgical steel rotary razor blades are safely protected inside 3 floating heads to give you a comfortable shave that's razor close, razor smooth, for up to 3 weeks on a single charge. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor. It lets you walk away from gotcha.
In 7 years of All in the Family, you've never seen an hour-long story like this.
Lady, I'm going to tie you up.
1 hour of comedy and drama, Sunday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
37-yard pass. Joe Pisarcik to Gary Shirk. 10-3 in favor of the Giants. Paul Hofer drops that one, but picks it up to the 10. Dave Williams trying to block for him, and he gets short of the 20-yard line, and there's a flag.
Oh, my goodness. One of those things again. Well, so that second quarter jinx continues to haunt the 49ers. They've given up 10 points this quarter. That now brings it 40-3 in just 5 games.
There's going to be a clip called against the 49ers. We'll see if we can see the clip. Here's Hofer's fumble and recovery. Now watch. That's Dave Williams, number 30, leading the pack.
Let's see if we can see Gary Shirk, number 87.
And Bob Farrell. Boom. Paul Seal, 85, the tight end.
Got old Gary.
So 1st and 10 from the 49er 10-yard line. Plunkett again in very poor field position. Wilbur Jackson. Both Gary Jeter and John Mendenhall hit him, and he went across for a couple of yards. In looking at the injury list, Plunkett playing with sore ribs. Dale Mitchell is out, knee ligaments. Dave Williams playing, Delvin Williams with a knee bruise. Johnny Miller is out with a bad shoulder. And for the Giants, Ron Mikolajczyk has a bad knee. Coder with bruised ribs. George Martin is out with a bad knee. They lost Frank Marion with a bad thumb. Andy Selfridge with ribs. Gary Shirk has a split lip and a touchdown.
Sounds like Gettysburg.
2nd and 7 from the 13. And Jackson gets across the 15-yard line.
Well, you know what Vince Lombardi always said about injuries? He said anybody can play the game when they're well. It's a little tougher when you're hurt. Go play.
I don't know how you guys ever played well, never mind hurt.
Well or often.
And then add to it AstroTurf, and that's probably, although I'm not going to get into any medical expertise about it, but it just seems to figure they're going to have a lot more injuries because of the hard surface and the traction that these big men can get.
That would be my guess, too.
3rd and 4. Jim Plunkett. He has Jackson and Delvin Williams split. Under a big rush, Gregory can't get him, neither can Jeter, and he's going to run out of bounds with Jeter right back of him. Smart play. Gary Jeter chasing Plunkett is 6'4", 260, called by Coach Johnny Robinson at USC. Awesome.
Yes, sir. Look at the pressure by Mendenhall. There's Gregory giving pursuit. Jeter comes into the play. He was the #1 draft choice this year. Southern California. Boys got good speed. They really miss George Martin. Jeter's going to be a good football player, but he is young and inexperienced. He'll come on as the season progresses.
Well, Plunkett has scrambled for the 1st down. 1st and 10 from the 49er 23. Washington left, Harrison the other way. Fake draw, and Jeter's got it. Oh, did Jeter get him? Woo.
All right, if you want to see the 8th sack of the season for the Giants, taking the little play-action pass there, trying to hold those linebackers, and look at the grab there. He got him by the jersey, won't let go. Boy, those guys are strong. You see how he just threw him off his feet? They really amaze me. Big old strong boys.
Gary Jeter, you know, Jeter last year at USC was timed doing a 40 in 4.7, and he's 260 pounds.
And I never could run that, and I weighed 190.
So Gary Jeter with his name in lights at 2nd and 21 for the 49ers from their own 12-yard line. Wilbur Jackson, and Jeter is on top of him.
It's the Gary Jeter show.
It certainly is.
Well, that's why they drafted him #1. And, brother, he's living up to his billings. He has come along. The film I saw of him, well, he didn't play anywhere near that well.
Well, he's only 22 years old, 6'4", 260 out of SC. And, of course, any day, and this might be the day, he's just going to arrive.
Yep, that's the only way they're going to learn is put him in there and let them learn the hard way, on-the-job training.
Pretty tough doing it in the big leagues, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
3rd and 19 from the 14. Well, Plunkett going to put it up. And he's throwing a bomb to Harrison, out of bounds. Bryant right there with him, number 21.
Funny looking pass. You sure that wasn't Billy Kilmer?
He's an enigma. Against the Rams, he threw the ball as well as we've seen him throw it in several years. And then he's had troubles with bruised ribs, and I guess it's affecting him again.
Yes, sir. They gave up an awful lot of draft choices for that man.
Jim Plunkett, Rookie of the Year, 1971, struggling for the moment. Hammond, solo safety, just inside midfield. Tom Whittam will have to kick it out for the 49ers. Whittam has had 5 punts blocked in 4 games.
Great.
A lot of pressure on number 52, Skip Vanderbunt. The people have been knocking on his door.
You can go a lifetime and not have 5 punts blocked.
There's another one.
Look ahead.
It is blocked by number 31, Ernie Jones, a 2-year man out of Miami. 6 punts in 5 games.
Yeah, I don't believe he took too awful long. It might be a little slow.
Look at that dive.
Number 31 coming in there, perfect position. The angle was just right. Let's take a look at it again. Ernie Jones. Yeah, he bobbled that snap just a little bit from that angle, but Ernie Jones took the right approach angle on it.
So Tom Whittem is blocked again, and it's 1st and goal for the Giants. The ball is on the 49er 2-yard line. Zonka in front of Willie Spencer. Spencer following Zonka. Apparently just shy. So it'll be 2nd and goal, and the ball is inside the 1. Anthony Leonard, last man to get up. He was underneath the stack. Willie Spencer did not go to college, played in the Canadian Football League, the World Football League, but he did go to a great high school for football, Massillon, Ohio.
Oh, buddy, that's almost a college right there.
2nd and goal from inside the 1. Spencer again behind Zonka. And it's Spencer behind Zonka. Touchdown.
Well, sir. Point of attack blocking was just awfully good there. Number 74, John Hicks. Zonka clearing the way there. Spencer going right over the top. Let's look at it from a different angle. There's Zonka, the lead blocker. He gets it done. Not a classic block, but he just kind of, well, you know what I'm trying to say.
Sure,
Got in his way.
It's intergalactic.
That's right.
So it is 16-3 Giants, and Dinello boots it through. And they're singing in New York, at least for the moment. The Giants 17 and the 49ers 3 with 4:31 to go to the half.
This fresh egg is going to help us sell this brand new Freeflex shoe from Freeman. Watch. You can do it with any new Freeman Freeflex. Let's use the same egg.
Hello, everybody. Alaska, tough on people, tough on oil filters. So we took Motorcraft oil filters to Alaska, testing them in 50 GM, Chrysler, and Ford cars and trucks. After 6 rugged months of Alaskan pipeline country, from winter's freeze to the hot, choking dust of summer, only one oil filter couldn't take the punishment. This is Lowell Thomas reminding you, no matter what you drive, wherever you drive, ask for Motorcraft oil filters from Ford. Tested tough in Alaska. So long.
Next week on the CBS Sports Spectacular, boxing with heavyweights, Leon Spinks and Scott Ledoux. Then it'll be Michael Spinks and Gary Summerhays. And finally, it'll be Mercado and Johnson. That's all coming up on the CBS Sports Spectacular, along with the world's strongest men competition next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Giants leading 17-3, and although we'll always remember the block punt as we look at Paul Hofer in the 49er end zone, a reminder of the clip. Remember the clip on the kickoff, and that put the 49ers deep in their own territory. They couldn't pass. They were forced to kick, and then it was blocked.
Field position they have not had.
Not at all. As Joe Dinello gets into it, and Hofer has dropped 2 in a row, holds on to this one. To the 15. Jones can't get him. And he is finally hit by Dixon and driven out of bounds by Emery.
Well, you can say just about what you want to. You can credit the special teams of the New York Giants, and you can say the 49ers special teams have hurt him. And there's Kenny Myers. I wonder what he's thinking about now.
Kenny, 52, going on a lot more. Coach back here with the New York Jets. He was an assistant to Weeb Eubank for 4 years.
Yeah, he coached out with the 49ers there for a while, went with the Rams, coached under Paul Brown, LaBear.
1st and 10 from the 20 for Plunkett, so he has a little bit of room. Delvin Williams. Taken down nicely at the last minute by Jim Sankey, number 20.
Opening a big hole on that left side was Steve Lawson, left guard for the 49ers.
Jim Lash coming in and Kenny Harrison coming out. There you see the number of plays. It took 2 to push it over from the 2-yard line. The last one, they had 1 play in 7 seconds, so the Giants aren't wasting any time at all. They're leading 17-3, 2nd and 4 for the 49ers. Wilbur Jackson, and on top of him is Carson. At the bottom, making a hit was Troy Archer, number 77, who hit him at the 25.
Now there is going to be a football player. In his 2nd year, he was last year's #1 draft choice for the Giants. He is coming.
He was on the Riders' 2nd team All NFL in his rookie year. He had 3 sacks and a couple of fumble recoveries. He was in on 90 tackles. When you say he's going to be coming, he's just around the corner from it.
Yes, sir. Usually about the 3rd year, these guys in the defensive line start coming around. The same for the offensive linemen.
3rd and 2 from the 49er 28. Plunkett down the right side to Harrison, and he's gotten it. He was able to beat number 21, Bill Bryant, make the reception for a 1st down.
They had a little blitz going that time. Let's see if we can see it. Harry Carson there, number 53 blitzing. Mendenhall giving a good rush. They had one-on-one coverage there. The timing in the pass could not have been any more perfect than that. Kenny Harrison taking it and he's stepping right on out of bounds.
A pickup of 17 yards on the play. So 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go to halftime. The Giants are leading 17-3, and Plunkett trying desperately to get on the board. 1st and 10 from his own 45. Lash is right, Washington left. Wilbur Jackson. Clock still running, 2:55 left to the half.
Oh, look at here. John Brockington has just scored. You know, Kansas City just picked him up, and he has gone over 5,000 career yards rushing.
He's a horse.
Yes, he is. Or he was. I don't know what happened to him this year.
2nd and 8 from the 47 of San Francisco. 2.5 to go to halftime. Wilbur Jackson tripped and fell down. Woody Peebles was out in front to lead block for him.
Wilbur having trouble with his traction.
Falling down twice and fumbled.
You're going to have to get him some new quick starts. Gracious, the 49ers do not look good at all.
No.
And they are a good football team, or on paper they are.
Wilbur Jackson, the Sporting News Rookie of the Year in '74, and he hasn't really come close to that performance ever since.
You know, in the last 2 games, he's only gained 7 yards.
Hard to believe. Well, we've got 2 minutes to go to halftime. Giants 17, San Francisco 3.
But, Billy Joe, you are dressed for a Del Rio dogfight. You'd sure look better in Hager slacks. Or a Hager sport coat and slacks. Even a Hager vested suit. A variety of outfits you don't have to be rich to afford. Oh, Billy Joe, you look like $1 million.
Make that 2.
Billy
Hager,
Joe.
because looking good makes you feel good.
Hey, Mom!
Oh, hiya, Sonny.
Stop sitting around, Mom. Let's take a ride in my new Ford pickup.
All right, let me drive. Oh, if I can handle it.
This is the one that's built tough with Ford's exclusive twin I-beam suspension and a new 4-speed overdrive option.
Fire up.
And extensive rust-fighting materials on underbody parts.
What'd you think, Mom?
You may think I'm off my rocker. This Ford is tough.
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
A reminder coming up at halftime, the NFL Today with Brent Musburger and Herb Cross. We have 2 minutes left to go to the half. The Giants are leading the 49ers 17-3, and the riddle of the 49ers continues.
Well, you know, this isn't something that just came up yesterday. For the last 15 to 20 years, I've been watching the 49ers and wondering, it seemed like they put the necessary ingredients together to be a winning team, but something always comes up.
Well, we'll see what comes up now in Plunkett's bag of tricks. He had been to the sideline. And he's going deep downfield to Gene Washington, intercepted by Brian Kelly. And Kelly is at the 30, to the 35. And will be tackled at the 40-yard line by Wilbur Jackson.
Gracious me. The pass was so poorly thrown. I can't believe the depth that Brian Kelly got. He must have been 30 yards downfield. A linebacker getting that much depth.
Wouldn't you know, the first pass to Gene Washington is an interception.
And look at this. Washington does have room to make the reception there, but the pass is underthrown. Look how deep he is. Now that's 30 yards. Gracious, what kind of coverage do you have when Brian Kelly can get that deep? Somebody hurry and tackle me. I'm tired of running.
That's just what I had the same thought. Where is somebody? Anybody? So the Giants have had a block punt, a recovered fumble, and an interception. The 49ers have just turned it over and over and over again. And it's 17-3 New York. First and 10 on their own 40-yard line. Spencer is in there with Hammond. Moorhead in motion to join Robinson on the right side. Here comes Hammond. And he gets out to the 45. You know, I don't have an axe to grind with any of the teams in the NFL. Second and 6 from the 45. Hammond. And he has his legs cut out from under him by Ralph McGill, number 49. But to go back to San Francisco last year, when they were 6-1, they really didn't beat any contending ball clubs.
That's true.
When they got into the tough teams, that's when they became 2-5. So they really didn't prove anything. I think their 8-6 record was suspect.
Yeah, I believe it was a little misleading. But
they beat Minnesota near the end of the year after Minnesota had won its divisional title. So there are a lot of cracks in that 49er thing besides that nice number, 8-6.
Brand X is what we just call them. They're just a mystery team and always have been to me.
3rd and 5 from the 45. Pisarcik to the side. And in a crowd, he throws to Hammond. He was hit by McGill, dropped the ball after the whistle.
That Ralph McGill's a football player, brother. Make no mistake of that. A good tackler and a good coverage man back there. Used to be a pretty good punt returner, too.
Well, the punt return is in order right now for the 49ers. Anthony Leonard comes out onto the field, that is to say. And Dave Jennings will punt from about his own 30-yard line. And Anthony Leonard goes deep. Jennings under a rush, but he got it away. And did he ever? Over the head of Anthony Leonard. And the Giants can down it inside the 10, down at the 5-yard line.
They can't get anything going for them. The 49ers just one bad break after the other. And once again, no field position whatsoever.
So with 12 seconds left, Jim Plunkett comes in. All he has to do is go 95 yards in 12 seconds, and he's down by 14 points. It has been a most discouraging half for the 49ers. A marvelous first half for the New York Giants.
And did the Giants need it, too? The last 3 weeks have been very dismal weeks here in New Jersey and New York, however you want to refer to it.
You know, the Giants have allowed 13 touchdowns. That's the most this year, and they've held the 49ers to 3 points for the half. Delvin Williams. Dragged by Troy Archer and finally nailed by Jack Gregory and Emmett Kelly. But it was 77 Troy Archer who slowed him up back on the 2-yard line.
John McVay, I know he's happy.
John McVay, 46 years old, having a marvelous time. He replaced Bill Arnsparger October the 25th of last year. After the Giants went 0-7. His record going into this is 3-4, and if the Giants beat the 49ers, he will finally get to the 500 mark as their head coach. Of course, you knew him back in the WFL.
I certainly did. He was coaching the South when they had a fine football team, and they really did.
Halftime in New York. Giants 17, San Francisco 3.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find our name is known. You can trust a Delco.
Thanks, Delco.
Delco Freedom Battery. When things are getting thick and you want to start real quick, you can trust a Delco.
Thanks, Delco.
Delco Freedom Battery. They've got the stuff when the starting's tough. You can trust a Delco.
Thanks, Delco.
Delco Freedom Battery. Delco Freedom.
Thanks, Delco.
Schlitz Light.
Schlitz Light beer has a third fewer calories than our other fine beer, and all the taste beer drinkers expect from Schlitz.
Why does he drink that?
It is his beer. It's the only light beer with gusto.
Schlitz Light.
Beer drinkers know it took Schlitz to bring the taste to light.
Who is the #1 investment firm in the East? Who is the #1 investment firm in the Midwest? Who is the #1 investment firm in the South? Who is the #1 investment firm in the West? You know who. Merrill Lynch. All around America, more investors turn to Merrill Lynch than any other investment firm. Sure, there are lots of investment firms, but there's only one Merrill Lynch.
In 7 years of All in the Family, you've never seen an hour-long story like this.
You know, you smell wonderful.
Oh, that's Lemon Pledge.
You should be here at 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
See, that's just a couple of...
Edith's 50th birthday party sets the stage for comedy and astonishing drama on a 1-hour special of All in the Family, Sunday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Spectacular presents a boxing triple-header with gold medalist Leon Spinks taking on Scott Ledoux in a heavyweight contest. Gold medalist Michael Spinks goes against the Canadian champion Gary Summerhays in a light heavyweight matchup. 10th-ranked heavyweight Bernardo Machado tangles with Greg Johnson. And the world's strongest men competition features the wheelbarrow race. That's next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, the Monday night game, Pittsburgh hosts Cincinnati, and a lot of question about Terry Bradshaw. Against Houston last Sunday, in the Oilers' upset, Bradshaw broke his left wrist. He is wearing a half-hard cast. We checked with Pittsburgh coach Chuck Noll this morning, and here is the exact status. He has been practicing with the Steelers. Chuck thinks that he will be able to play against Cincinnati. The problem is not one of throwing the ball or anything like that. It's taking the snap from the center. There is constant pain. The Steelers experimented with having the center slow up the snap, but that threw off the timing of the offense. So if Bradshaw starts, he will go as far and as long as he can against Cincinnati. And Irv, meanwhile, Ed Garvey called you.
That's right. He called me on another pain, Ken Payne, a wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers, who was suspended, and there was a lot of controversy and discussion about it. Apparently what happened is simply this. The Green Bay Packers agreed to settle with the Players Association and reimburse Kenny Payne his $1,000, which he was fined when he was suspended from the ball club, and they also agreed to pay him for today's game, even though he's not playing. And they put him on no recall waivers, and he'll become a free agent in just a few hours.
All right, Irv, let's check in on Jimmy the Greek's favorite football team this year, the Atlanta Falcons. How they doing against the Buffalo Bills? Scoreless in the second quarter. The Greeks got to get that offense going. Green Bay and Detroit right now in the second quarter. Each team has kicked a field goal. The Packers were on the board first. It is now tied 3-3. St. Louis leads Philadelphia by a score of 14-3 in that game. The Eagles had kicked a field goal. The Cardinal offense looks good. And yes, Jim Hart is playing quarterback for the Cardinals. San Francisco and the New York Giants. San Francisco is totally inept in all phases of the game today. You've been watching the Giants. They lead at the half 17-3. Now it is Baltimore and Kansas City. 14-6. The score there was John Brockington's touchdown for the Chiefs. He just got in. They missed the extra point. It is 14-6 in the second quarter. Now, Chicago and Minnesota are just underway. They are scoreless. That game is in the first quarter, and of course the score there is reflected in the fact that Bob Avellini has done such a good job for the Bears coming off that Monday night upset, so they are scoreless just underway. Now, Donnie Pastorini is not at quarterback today. Doesn't make any difference. They just got a touchdown and an extra point. They lead it by a score of 7-0. Let's turn our attention now towards some highlights. Check around the league, get you up to date on all the big plays. Let's start now with Green Bay and Detroit. That'll be our first package of highlights here. Now, King for the Lions fumbles. Dave Purifoy recovers for Green Bay, and the Packers kicked a field goal that put them ahead by a score of 3-0, and of course, as I told you, 3-3. Irv, what's next?
All right, I have the Philadelphia Eagles and St. Louis Cardinals. They're still going in the second quarter, late in the second quarter, Brent, but the Cardinals lead by a score of 14-3 down at Veterans Stadium. And right here in the second quarter, 2nd and 8 on the Philadelphia 38-yard line, Hart faces the ladder and throws the ball out, the screen pass, number 84, Ike Harris, who rams along the sideline all the way for a touchdown. St. Louis took a 7-3 lead. The Cardinals came back again in the second quarter, this time handing the ball off to Terry Metcalf, goes in, and the Cardinals are leading late in the half, 14-3.
Irv, I have to think a little bit about Monty Clark as I take a look at this next set of highlights. The San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants. Would you believe how inept San Francisco has been all season. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Giants, but what has happened to the Niners? Brian Kelly with a recovery. Pisarcik, touchdown pass now to Shirk. So long, Bob Tucker, huh? 10-3 after the field goal by the Giants. Now look at this. The Niners can't even get off a punt. Here comes Jones. 2 plays later, Spencer will dive over the top for the touchdown. 17-3 after the extra point. Now Plunkett wants to throw the ball to Gene Washington. Hey, Kelly's having a great day. Got back on this, and it is 17-3 at the half, and with Joe Thomas in charge of the San Francisco 49ers, you got to wonder what might happen to that franchise in the days ahead. Boy, what turmoil surrounding the 49ers. The NFL Today will continue on CBS right after these messages from your local stations.
How far should an advertising girl go to get an account? Watch the new comedy On Our Own tonight following Rhoda on CBS.
During the 17 years of their existence, the Dallas Cowboys have had only one head coach, Tom Landry. He started out in 1960 with a ragtag expansion team which went the entire year without a victory. But right from the start, Landry knew he was going to build a mountain, as sung by Sammy Davis Jr. Go. If
Halftime in New Jersey, and the Giants are leading San Francisco 17-3. Alex, I don't know if I told you this or not. When I was leaving Los Angeles on Friday, I bought a San Francisco paper to read, maybe to get a little insight into the 49ers. In the game story, the writer was talking about this upcoming game, and he said the 49ers against the rotten team they're playing this weekend. I'd never seen that in public print before, this rotten team.
It's a little bit severe and a little tacky, but, you know, it pretty well describes it. They have played just poorly.
And now, this rotten team is the way that writer felt the New York Giants were, and he's sitting upstairs wondering about how to rephrase it because the rotten team is leading the 49ers 17-3.
Well, a case in point is that the 49ers are not making the big plays. In fact, they're giving every opportunity for the Giants, who are taking that opportunity. They make block punts and long scoring, the long score by Shirk, and they're making the plays. They look good today.
There might be one other thing of interest to all of us, and particularly to the folks at home. The second half could be a dandy because Plunkett, when he has to come out throwing, might very well turn this place into a carnival.
And he has got to go to Gene Washington if he's going to get himself back in the ball game.
It was ironic. He went to him once, and it was for an interception to a linebacker. And what was Kelly doing back there?
Well, apparently they didn't use the right flare control, or Plunkett didn't key, because the linebacker can't drop that far back on you, and you can't allow him to do it. You've got to send your back out there and go ahead and take the 10 or 15 yards from the back rather than let him get that much depth.
And one last note on that block punt, it was the third consecutive game that the 49ers have had a punt block. They've now had 6 in 5 games.
I'm gonna keep on doing that till I get it right. Yeah, I work hard and I play hard, and I use new STP gas treatment. You just pump it in your tank and it goes to work cleaning your carburetor. I take good care of my wheels on account of I'm cheap. I bet you are too. Try it.
The Quintrix 2-color picture tube from Panasonic brings you a very lifelike picture. Because Quintrix 2 is our inline picture tube with an extra pre-focus lens that concentrates and focuses the electron beam to bring you Panasonic's sharpest picture ever. So lifelike, you may even feel you're part of the picture. Quintrix 2, one more reason Panasonic is just slightly ahead of our time.
This is my team, and this is the new Giants Stadium in the Meadowlands. Hello, I'm Brad Van Pelt. New York's so big that it's hard to even begin to tell you about it. I could start here with a skyline like no other in the world. But let me show you a special part of the New York scene. It's the feeling you get when you're jogging in Central Park, walking up Fifth Avenue, riding the subway, or looking back on the city from the George Washington Bridge. The feeling that here, in what may be the greatest experiment of people living together, there is the greatest need for human friendship. That's why the United Way volunteers are so important. They work for the visiting nurses, Girl Scouts, Salvation Army, and many other agencies funded by the United Way. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut wouldn't be the same without them. On behalf of the volunteers and the Tri-State United Way, we'd like to say, thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. This is Vin Scully, along with the intergalactic Alex Hawkins.
I found out where that was.
Out of sight, baby.
Intergalactic is 15 miles just south of Dothan, Alabama. A little community, about 300 people.
All right. And talking about intergalactic, here are some of the numbers. You can see the offensive plays are close enough. There's been a couple of plays, however, that have come backwards. A blocked punt, also a 49er fumble. There was a Giant interception. Shake it well, and it comes out 17-3 New York as we go to the third quarter. It'll be interesting now to see if the 49ers can come back at all, if they can shake themselves. Paul Hofer, who has dropped a couple and finally was able to return one out of the end zone, will go deep again. And up in front of him, he has Dave Williams, number 30, Bob Farrell, number 38. But the deep man is Paul Hofer. Joe Danello, who has kicked a field goal and has kept the ball reasonably deep on kickoffs, will start the third quarter with the kick, and in a moment, here we go. 17-3 Giants. And Danello into the ball. And Hofer has trouble handling it across the 5 to the 10, 15, 20, and to about the 22-yard line. I'll tell you one thing, Alex, it's not that easy to handle because Danello's kicks are like knuckleball.
That's exactly right. He has kicked it, and he gets surprisingly good distance with that. All of them have been around the 1 or 2 yard line, and he's kicking a knuckleball.
Yeah, it would be unfair to just say, oh, Hofer's dropped another, because really, that pig is coming down sideways.
And there must be, I don't see the flags moving that much, but there must be some wind because they're down the field because they're having trouble keeping that ball on the tee.
1st and 10 on the Giant 22, and let's see what Jim Plunkett does. I should say on the 49er 22. Wilbert Jackson, nowhere as he got out to about the 25. Down at the bottom, John Mendenhall, number 64, had him by the ankles.
Well, in the first half, the New York Giant defensive front four had just controlled the line of scrimmage. They really did. They were all playing well. Jeters had an outstanding first half. Mendenhall's made good penetration. Archer and Gregory.
2nd and 7 for Jim Plunkett on his own 25-yard line. Washington wide right, Lash wide left. Delvin Williams with Wilbur Jackson blocking. Mendenhall made the tackle despite a block by Woody Peebles. You know, John Mendenhall, number 64, in 1974 had an absolutely fantastic year and then had a knee injury. In 1975, he started off well and he had an ankle injury. Last year, he was number 1 in tackles for the Giants, 151 tackles. So he's just about ready to take off.
That's a good full season.
3rd and 5 from the 49er 27. Harrison is wide right. Washington left. Plunkett looking right and throws it away. Intended for the tight end Tom Mitchell. There's a flag on the play. Remember, Mitchell caught one in the first quarter and landed on his head.
Great catch. He's got good, excellent hands. The guy just doesn't, he can't go deep for you. I believe it's Troy Archer jumped the count a little bit. Number 77. Well, let's just take a look into it and see. Right to the center's left shoulder. Troy Archer in his 2nd year. A little bit overzealous.
You got him, Hawk.
That's it.
Double sevens costs 5.
Something good's going to happen to the 49ers.
Referee Red Cashin.
Offsides, New York.
So that moves the ball out to the San Francisco 32-yard line. A little exuberant Troy Archer caught for 5. Obradovich, tight end on the right side. Mitchell, the tight end on the left side. 3rd and 1. And Plunkett on a sneak.
Well, I think it worked, but it had the imagination of a mirror.
I can see a Staubach sneaking from the goal line, but 3rd and 1 on your own 32. Jimmy decided to go for it. Bad ribs and all.
That's conservative enough, I guess. I don't know. You got Randy Cross and Woody Peoples up there blocking for you, and they're 2 fine football players. That's calculated enough.
Well, for the 49ers, in order to get well, they first have to eliminate the negative. And of course, fumbles and blocks, so you got to be
an excellent point, Ben.
Excellent 10 from the San Francisco 39. Plunkett intended for Gene Washington, but it was a foot short. The interception was a couple of yards short.
In addition to that, I believe Gene Washington lost his footing there. Let's watch Plunkett as he sets up there. I don't see anything wrong with his throwing form. It looks like it always did, even back when he was playing at Stanford. Just not on target at all. Coverage over there by Bill Bryant.
Well, we figured that Jim would have to come out to play catch-up. Minnesota leading Chicago 10-0 in the first quarter, and the Giants leading 17-3 here. 2nd and 10. Down he goes, and it's Gary Jeter.
Coming into his own. Brother, what a day he has had. Let's see. Nobody for Randy Cross to block. Breaks down on the backside there. Gary Jeter. Nobody open. Credit to secondary of the Giants for good coverage. Ray Rhodes. He was a wide receiver when they brought him into camp. You know, that's a good way to teach defense. Because you play offense a little bit, you learn about the offense, and you can learn something from the defense. I'll find out a better way of describing that, but it really does help you to play offense if you're going to play defense.
Okay.
Never mind, let's drop that.
We'll have the Alex Hawkins show immediately after, but right now it's 3rd and 21 from the 49er 23. Delvin Williams with Peoples and Lawson. Down he goes, and right through came Brad Van Pelt.
Once again, just controlling that line of scrimmage. Those guards are getting out there and moving upfield, but they can't get past the line of scrimmage. Point of attack. Let's take a look at it and see. Brad Van Pelt. There you see Woody Peoples out there. Block Wilbur Jackson in good shape. Steve Lawson, all of them, but look, breaks down right there.
So Tom Whittam once again having to punt from his own 10-yard line. Bob Hammond, who broke one for a 68-yard touchdown return earlier this year. Flag on the play. And Hammond goes out of bounds. But there was a flag thrown almost immediately. So you start to wonder about illegal man downfield. Huh?
I'm telling you, Whittam's mind is jerked all together. Did you see how quick he got that off? That ball must not have gone 20 feet high.
Well, repeat that stat now. He has had a punt blocked in 3 consecutive games. He has had 6 punts blocked in 5 games. He'd be in a hurry.
That'll go against the Giants. Oh, look at that. That's pitiful. Look at the 49ers.
Walking off.
Just lethargic. They really are. Tommy Hart. Look at that. Now, that's a guy that I have never seen play a bad football game.
Interesting, that's the first time we've mentioned his name
That's
today.
right, and that's something that doesn't happen. What
Yeah,
a great
right.
career he's had with the 49ers.
So Whittam. There you see the numbers. 2 punts, a 14-yard average. What's that old line about that would make coffee nervous? Well, he could use a little extra room. They're going to tack 5 against the Giants, and they will. (17-3) New York.
Let's go close in on Whittam this time. I bet he rushes it like he did the previous punt.
Bob Hammond is now on his own 40-yard line. Whittam will be punting from his 15. And that's Skip Vandebunt back there trying to keep out the enemy. Low line drive to the left side. Hammond trying to run it down. And on the ball immediately is Dave Williams. He has done a very good job on the special teams in getting down under punt.
He has that. Yes, he has, man.
With 11 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the 3rd period, the Giants 17, San Francisco 3.
Should have bought Mobil 1. The oil, it saves you gas, you know.
Should have bought Mobil 1. Helps you start at 35 below.
Should have bought Mobil 1. Engine temperature hits 500. You're cool.
Should have bought Mobil 1. You only change it every 15,000 miles.
Mobil 1, the oil that does it all. Take it from an expert.
Want to cut your fuel bills? Whether your house is new or old, put insulation everywhere. It can save you money. Your attic. You need a 6 to 12-inch blanket of pink Owens Corning fiberglass. Walls, full insulation. Unheated crawl space, insulate below the floor. Live where it's cold, insulate basement walls. See your Owens Corning fiberglass supplier to learn all about insulation. Insulation is cheaper than oil.
The CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday, a battle of heavyweights. Leon Spinks against Scott Ledoux, Michael Spinks against Gary Summerhays, Bernardo Mercado against Greg Johnson, and the competition of the world's strongest men. Next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular. 1st and 10 on the Giant 35. Pisarcik to Zonka, and Bruce Elia, number 55, takes him down at the 40-yard line with Dave Washington on the bottom.
Cleveland Elam gambled that time, taking a strong outside rush, and Doug Van Horn, it was a perfect play selection, just kept on riding him out, creating that hole. Well, let's just take a look at it. Look at the left of your center there. Elam, number 72, took that outside charge. Doug Van Horn just kept him going in that direction.
2nd down and 5 from the 40-yard line. Here comes Coder, and Elia is right there. A good defensive play by Bruce Elia, number 55. Elia, among other things, Ohio State graduate, 3 years. He won 10 letters in high school. He's a linebacker and a fullback. And when he was a fullback as a junior, he scored 14 touchdowns. Now he's a hard-nosed middle linebacker. But with Willie Harper hurt early in the 1st quarter, why, San Francisco needs all the strength on the backers. 3rd and 2 from the 43. And fumble, Pisarcik fumbled. And San Francisco recovers the football.
That'll be the 9th fumble for the Giants this season. They've only lost 4 of them. Well, that makes 5.
Vanderbunt will recover.
There you go. Cedric Hardman coming in and shaking it loose.
10:24 to go in the third quarter, and the Giants finally cough one up to San Francisco.
You want to start something?
You want to start something?
You want to start something? Start using Rayovac alkaline energy cells, the finest battery Rayovac makes. No ordinary battery can last as long as our alkaline energy cell. In fact, one Rayovac alkaline can last up to 8 times longer than an ordinary battery. So if you want to start something, start using Rayovac alkaline.
Get something started with Rayovac.
When life's grind gets to you.
Go Mustang!
Mustang.
Let a Mustang take you away.
This is a great time to go Mustang because this year Mustang 2 is base sticker price less than last year.
Mustang.
The 78 Ford Mustang 2 T-Roof convertible.
Go Mustang!
So beat the grind. Go Mustang. A better idea from Ford.
Monday on Logan's Run, a man with a deadly mission is sent into the future to change history as 2 civilizations fight for life on Logan's Run. Monday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
10:24 left to go in the third quarter. For the first time today, the 49ers get in Giant territory. Washington left, Harrison right, and it's Farrell across the 40-yard line. Number 38, Bob Farrell, playing on a bad ankle. 2-year man out of UCLA.
Yeah, he was a free agent. He had a big day against Atlanta. Well, a big day for a guy that plays sparingly. 52 yards in that one.
Paul Hofer now in there for Farrell. So Hofer, who had been handling kicks, now is in the backfield with Farrell. And Washington goes right, Lash left. So they rest Williams and Jackson. And here comes Farrell again. It might not be just a rest either. They might decide to go with some different horses.
That's right. What are you going to do? Yep. You can't keep riding the same horses that keep losing races for you. You got to experiment from within.
So Paul Hofer, a 2-year man. Bob Farrell, a 2-year man.
It's something, though, the 49ers have not been guilty of this year is fumbles. They've only had 2 this year. And you'd think a team that doesn't turn it over any more than that, what, 8 interceptions, that would be playing more respectable football.
3rd and 1 from the Giant 35. We'll see if Plunkett keeps it again. No, it is Hofer. And he's belted. He did not make it. Oh, was he hit. He tried to fight his way through, but if they spot the ball at that initial hit, it's not enough.
Was that Jeter that came in there so strong that time? Number 70. Well, that's what you just hope and pray for when you draft number 1. He's got to be a super player.
Well, they're going to measure now because they spot the ball at a different angle from where we thought Hofer was stopped. So they bring in the chain gang and we'll see.
No, sir.
Didn't look like it. In fact, I thought it was more than that, but it's going to be just a couple of inches. So 4th down and inches. This might be the biggest play of the day for the 49ers. They don't keep this drive alone. They might pack up.
Just about.
Yep.
What it'll do to them mentally as well as losing the ball.
And there's 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. So they need this 4th and inches inside the 35. And you have Hofer and Farrell back of Plunkett. Obradovich a tight end with Tom Mitchell. Plunkett on a caper.
I believe he got his inches that time, Vinny.
That's the 2nd time Jim Plunkett has tried to sneak today.
I guess that's their thinking, though. John Mendenhall is a fine football player, but he isn't exceptionally strong.
Look at this. Look at the Giants.
What?
He didn't make it.
Oh, my goodness.
And for San Francisco, the first time they get into Giant territory.
Oh, you got to show me that one again. Let me see. Randy Cross.
Van Pelt tried to shoulder him back.
Now, do you mean that he didn't get inches on that? I guess not. But it appears to me he got about a yard. Oh, well,
So
here we
the
go.
Giants hold. Bad news for San Francisco. And a flag. Let's check. It's 1st and 10 with 8 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Giants finally got a break, and then they can't keep the drive going. It'll be unsportsmanlike conduct evidently coming from the San Francisco bench. A word or two perhaps from a coach.
Well, I don't much blame them. I don't much blame them.
We'll get it officially now.
However, that is a mark of an undisciplined team when you get
Unsportsmanlike conduct, San Francisco, first down.
There's no number. It was Mr. X. Brand X again strikes from the sideline.
Oh, he's guilty a lot of times. Old Mr. X.
So that brings it all the way to midfield. And the Giants get yet another break. Zonka and Coder behind Pisarcik. And it's Coder following Zonka. And he was tripped up by Bruce Elia. Giants 17, 49ers 3. There's a flag back on the 49 or 45-yard line. Preliminary signal holding perhaps against the Giants. We'll see.
You know, I can't help but kind of giggle, though, when a guy like Bob Tucker, who's had a great career here with the Giants, pops off in the papers. Well, let's take a look at it here, and then I'll continue on. They are holding number 53.
Tommy Hart.
Yeah, who would that be? I guess that would be Ron Mikulajczyk.
Changed his name. Mikulajczyk.
Mikulajczyk, I'm sorry.
That's from the W Football League.
Of course, in the papers you read where Bob Tucker wants to be traded and all that, so they just set him on the bench. He did have a slight groin pull. They put Gary Shirk in. What does he do? Catches a 31-yard touchdown.
So it's 1st and 20 from the Giant 40-yard line. Robinson is left. He's been a quiet man today. Marshall right. And Pisarcik, a little screen to Coder. And he's down at midfield. The guy who upended him was Mel Phillips. Watch Phillips give him a flip.
Excellent play selection right there. The 49ers all revved up, trying to get back in the ball game, trying to sack the passer. They just threw out the bait. Please don't throw me in that briar patch. They let them on, go on in, and Coder goes down the side. Good play selection, as it turned out.
Mel Phillips, a 12-year man in this league, so he cut Coder's legs out from under him as Doug got back to the 50-yard line. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. 17-3 Giants. 2nd and 10. Zonka for a yard maybe. That's about all. Zonka looked like he took a while. If there was a hole, it had to be an echo by the time he got there.
I hate to see this, and I hate to say it, but Larry Zonka is just not the Larry Zonka that we once know and love, so to speak. Look at this effort here.
You're looking at the #1 active NFC rusher, 6,469 yards prior to this year. A Christmas baby, born in 1946 on Christmas Day. One of the all-time greats, 3 Super Bowls, MVP in the '74 Bowl, all NFL 5 times, but he's lost a step or two. Pisarcik throwing behind, intended for Coder, and evidently a mix-up there. There wasn't anybody close to the ball. Coder was running and the ball landed behind him.
Oh, Joe wasn't even close on that. Complete the green grass, or turf if you'd rather. Look at the 49ers go on the field and leave. They just don't, no enthusiasm whatsoever.
Well, we see now if Anthony Leonard might give them a lift with a big run back, which is about what they need right now. Anthony, a second-year man out of Virginia Union, and Dave Jennings will be kicking from the Giant 40-yard line. Got it away. Bruce Elia coming in, and Leonard on his 15 has to watch. And the ball comes to about the 19 where the Giants down it. At the bottom was Andy Selfridge to down it inside the 20-yard line. So with 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter, the New York Giants 17, the San Francisco 49ers 3.
Sir, what's the hurry? Going to rent a car. Oh, well, you don't have to run. Gotta run. Oh, no, if you had an Avis Wizard number, you could walk. Walk? Call toll-free and let our Wizard system do the running. Just show a major credit card, license, sign, and get the car. I don't have to run through airports? Not with Avis. I can walk.
through airports.
We try harder, Avis. Avis, we don't know another way.
I'm walking through airports.
Leslie Caron for Color Track by RCA.
In Gigi, my brooch was blue, the leaves were green, and my gown was lavender lace. If these colors don't look right to you, you should know about Color Track from RCA. Getting the color right is what Color Track is all about. It actually adjusts the colors and locks them on track.
Before you see the Color Track system grabs it, aligns it, defines it, sharpens it, tones it, and locks the color on track.
RCA is making television better and better.
Two mighty forces war over who shall rule the Star Powerhouse adventure of Logan's Run. Watch at 8 o'clock. 7 Mountain tomorrow. Right now, we're looking at Plunkett's run. It's 17-3 Giants. First and 10 from the 19. Play action fake to Hofer. And complete to Gene Washington across the 35 to the 37. They finally got it to him. He had caught only 5 in 4 games this year.
Plunkett with the play action there, trying to freeze those linebackers that have been getting so much depth. As you saw, it worked on Harry Carson there. Harry Carson, that's right. Plunkett the money, and you go with a Gene Washington. Sooner or later, he's going to get to you. I don't think that'll be his last catch of the day.
So Plunkett picks up his first down, first and 10 from his own 30. Lash right and Washington left. Play action fake again. Seal, and the tight end is across midfield for another. Seal, a 4-year man out of Michigan. Mitchell making that reception.
Paul locked down there in New Orleans and couldn't win the starting job, so they traded him over the 49ers. He's not a bad football player. And
look at Cleveland leading Houston by 4. First and 10 now. That's 2 in a row for Plunkett on first and then 10 from the Giant 48. Harrison wide right. Bob Farrell, and he's at 45.
well, I guess that is what the 49ers thinking. Haven't been getting bench and see if you can put new life in them.
With a bad ankle, Delvin Williams had a knee bruise. And it's Farrell now playing in the second half. Lash is wide. Tight. Plunkett on a Lash, and he fumbles.
That is
Van Pelt made the recovery.
That is a good sign. That's their 10th fumble recovery.
They had 8.
That's surprising. True. But
from the first down to Jim Lash.
yes, he did. The ball just shook loose. It is.
Home guy. 4:56 to go in the third. Field face. Right, left. Emery Moore. Right. Mel Phillips.
In 5 games.
And in the backfield. I don't do it. Very otherwise, Coat is gone. Yeah. Morris Brown. And it was that was a third down. Would it be ever? on his 25. Be Dave. He's hit it. By Perkins.
And 3 points.
Right. And Pisarcik is 2 for 7 and 49 yards, and one of them a 37-yard touchdown pass to Gary Shirk.
That's living proof that Gumpfer's Law still works. You know what Gumpfer's Law is?
No, what is it?
The outcome of any situation will be inversely proportional to the desirability or the logical outcome of the same given situation.
Hawkins, you amaze me. 3rd and 2. With 2:15 to go in the third quarter, it's Delvin Williams across the 40. It would appear as if he just about made the first down. It's going to be borderline, depending upon where they spot the ball. Very close. Officials timeout. They'll have to take a look.
Now, what Gumpfer's Law means is that a little old lady can pick more winners at the racetrack picking her favorite color than someone who follows the racing forms diligently, or that a child has more energy after 8 hours of hard play than 8 hours sleep. You figured that one out.
All right.
Gumpfer never did.
Figure a first down.
Gumpfer never to become famous with that either.
No, I don't think so. A forgotten man, but not unforgotten first down for San Francisco. 17-3 Giants. 1:57 to go in the third quarter. Jim Plunkett somehow trying to get his ball club up, and they have been so flat up to here. He had a drive going when Jim Lash caught what appeared to be a first down pass and came off it, fumbled, and gave the ball to the Giants. So this is his second drive. Play action fake to Delvin Williams. Archer giving him heat, and Kelly can't hold on to it. Troy Archer all over him, and Kelly inches from his second interception.
And that is what pressure will do to a quarterback. Troy Archer putting some heat on him, and he never should have let that ball go. Look at Plunkett. He's leaning backwards, no weight on that forward foot. Put it out there, and Brian Kelly could not keep or hold the handle on it.
And Bob Farrell almost caught it off Kelly's hands. So it is 2nd and 10.
Which was reversible with last week. The Atlanta Falcons had a deflected pass for the 7-0 win over the 49ers.
They have lost them all kinds of ways this year. 2nd and 10 from the 41. Bob Farrell dragged down, and at the bottom you'd find number 77, and that would be Troy Archer, second-year man out of Colorado.
Well, things don't look all that dismal for the New York Giants. They've got some good young football players.
At 7'7", 6'4", 250, only 22 years old. Up front, you have a rookie Gary Jeter and a 2-year man in Troy Archer. And then to anchor them, Jack Gregory, 11 years, and John Mendenhall, 6. 3rd and 8 from the 43. Gene Washington left, Kenny Harrison right. Both backs go out. And Plunkett gets rid of it short with Jack Gregory dragging him down. So Jack Gregory, number 81, put the heat on him. With both backs going out, Plunkett was naked unto the world.
And that is the merits of a strong quarterback. talk about wanting to draft big, strong quarterbacks. Well, they would have taken the sack of Fran Tarkenton, perhaps. Look how strong he is. With Jack Gregory hanging on him, he can still get it off and avoid that loss.
It was about a buck short trying to get the ball to Paul Hofer. Tom Whittam will be punting from his 35. Hammond and Robinson deep, and it'll be Hammond on his 25. Look out for the 40 to midfield. Whittam and Farrell chasing him. He's to the 20, and Whittam pushes him out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
Oh, how about it? What a nice addition, Bobby Hammond.
Bob Hammond.
He was originally drafted, I believe, by the Giants, let go, went down to New Orleans and a couple other teams, and came back here with the Giants, and he has been playing well for the Giants.
He plays guitar and bass. In fact, he plays for a gospel group conducted by his father. Amen.
And as they say, and he plays it well.
Yeah. He busted one for 68 yards earlier this year for a touchdown. Bob Hammond and the Giants on a 63-yard return are in business with 33 seconds to go in the third quarter. Pitch back to Coder. He has Gravel blocking. He gets inside the 10. And this big crowd of approximately 76,000, they have not had much fun to cheer about ever since New York upset Washington. But boy, they're having a feast today.
Well, last week in that rain in Philadelphia, they got back behind 21-0, and the game was out of reach. With the conditions the way they were, there was no catching up.
The third quarter is running out, and Pisarcik will wait and let it go. So that's the end of the third quarter with the score, the Giants 17, the 49ers 3. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Surprise birthday party for Edith turns out to be the shock of their lives. See tonight's special one-hour episode of All in the Family here on CBS.
800-528-8000.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Having dinner with clients is part of your job.
The trick is to gain a client, not lose a reputation. On Our Own tonight, following Rhoda.
Stay here, Mr. Barnes.
Joe Dinello ready to kick off for New York. The Giants leading 20-3. And it's Paul Hofer to the 20. Gets by Dixon, who then trips him up going by. Good play by Perkins and Dixon, but it was Al Dixon, number 84, who tripped him up. So the scoring drive, 4 plays, only went 12 yards, settled for the 22-yard field goal by Joe Dinello. 20-3 in favor of the Giants, and the 49ers, who have been shut out twice, got on the boards on a field goal earlier, and that's all. So Plunkett goes back to work. 1st and 10 from his own 22. He has Hofer and Farrell. Harrison in a slot, and now comes in motion to the right. Plunkett to Hofer. And he is sandwiched at the 35-yard line. Brad Van Pelt, number 10, hit him from one side, Carson from the other. Hofer holding on nicely.
Pass protection held that time. Jim Plunkett looks to his right, can't find anybody open, hesitates. I like this Hofer. Made a good adjustment. That's the hardest pass you're going to catch. When you're running one way, have to go back. I like the way he approaches returning kickoffs, too. He means to break them.
So 1st and 10 from the 38 at San Francisco. And that's to Paul Seal, no good. And hit hard by Powers, Clyde Powers, 4-year man out of Oklahoma.
The pass was just a little bit thrown behind him, just a wee bit. Jim Plunkett didn't do that bad a job on the thing, but as you see, the coverage was pretty good. Maybe should have held on to the thing. Paul Seal trying to make the reception.
The Giants last week lost on 3 bombs, a 55-yard touchdown pass, a 28-yard touchdown pass, and a 70-yard run from scrimmage. They are containing San Francisco and avoiding the bomb all day, and there's only 13 minutes left to go in the game. That was Gary Jeter, number 70, who made the false start. Oh, tremendous drop by Harrison. He had it in one hand and then couldn't hold it. A great try by number 83, Kenny Harrison.
Boy, you're not,
man out of SMU.
You're not going to, there you see the offsides by Jeter there. You're not going to throw the ball any better than that. Jim Plunkett put that one right dead on the money. And it looked like it was going to be a great reception there by Kenny Harrison. Look at that. That is professional. That might have been a completion and a fumble, though.
It was a good
after
play
he
by
hit
Bill
the ground.
Bryant, too.
I'm going to kind of take exception with that call. I believe he had the ball.
Well, they call him Flash, and there's nothing flashier than that one-handed try, but Jeter ruined that play.
70, New York, offside.
Gary Jeter jumped off. 2nd and 5 from the 43 for San Francisco. We have 12:55 left to go in the game. The Giants 20 and the 49ers 3. Draw to Bob Farrell. Mendenhall read the draw but couldn't hold on to him, and Van Pelt finally had to come up and hit him along with Carson. But the guy who saw and smelled draw right away was John Mendenhall, but he let him get away. Bob Farrell. He was out of Blair High School in Los Angeles. Played with two very well-known high school and professional football players named James McAllister and Kermit Johnson. They were called the Blair pair.
You got it.
They're both gone. And Bob Farrell.
End of story.
Right. And Bob Farrell is playing his heart out. 3rd and 1 from the 47. Bob Farrell across midfield. Good leg action. And Farrell picks up his first down.
Now there's a boy who wants to play. He wants to play.
You know, when he was in high school and he's got a bad leg going off, he scored 7 touchdowns in one game.
Look at the desire right there and the attitude he's got. He's not stopped. They hit him pretty good. He means to advance the football. Not right now, though.
Nope, he paid for it. They gave him the bill. So Bob Farrell hurting his left leg. 1st and 10 on the Giant 49. Gene Washington left, Kenny Harrison right. Wilbur Jackson in there now to block Jeter. And a deep one going for Harrison. He's got it. And a tackle immediately by Bill Bryant. But the flash, Kenny Harrison makes a marvelous reception.
What is his speed? He can fly. I had no idea. I knew Willie McGee that's been injured, never came back from last year's broken leg, could run. But this guy can really truck it, brother. And look at that pass. Plunkett is mystifying me. Some of his passes are so horrible and some of them are just so beautiful. That was perfect. That Kenny Harrison can fly.
So it's 1st and goal. San Francisco on the Giant 3-yard line. Harrison had just missed an electrifying catch moments ago. And on a repeat for the West Coast, he came up with a dandy. So Plunkett 10 for 16. And it's 1st and goal on the 3. Wilbur Jackson and Paul Hofer. Jackson following Hofer. Got down to about the 1. Emmett, I was going to say Emmett. Brian Kelly making the catch. Nothing clownish about Brian Kelly.
The 49ers get it in the end zone. We could have a ball game yet. There's still 10 minutes and 30 seconds or so on that clock.
17 points different. Giants 20, 49ers 3. Jackson, and he's in for the score. Wilbur Jackson, who had only 1 touchdown rushing in 44 NFL games, punches it over.
Running up the back of Keith Fahnhorst, number 71. Let's take a look at it and see what he does. Oh, completely destroys Jeter that time. Enough of a hole to get in there. Wilbur Jackson.
Well, it's 20-9, 10 minutes and 15 seconds. We take another look.
Yeah, Jeter just buried himself. Fahnhorst just laid his body on top of him, creating a big gap there. Plenty of room.
Now Ray Wersching, who earlier kicked a 50-yard field goal, gets it up, and it's good. So he has joined the club indeed. We have 10 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the ball game. The Giants 20, and San Francisco trying to come back with 10.
Schlitz Light.
Schlitz Light beer has a third fewer calories than our other fine beer, and all the taste beer drinkers expect from Schlitz.
What did you just give him? His beer. It's the only light beer with gusto. Oh, yeah? Schlitz Light.
Beer drinkers know it took Schlitz to bring the taste to light.
I mean, it was really a good movie.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, honey, look, some poor guy left his lights on.
Larry.
Is he gonna be in trouble?
Larry.
Boy, am I glad it isn't me.
Larry, it is you.
It is me. Oh.
The Die Hard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Starting soon in your neighborhood. Sold only at Sears.
Remember to watch for Logan's Run, the intergalactic adventure series that hits with the impact of Star Wars Monday nights at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time. And tomorrow, a mighty battle looms for control of the Star World. And a big boomer that will send Hammond out of the state. He went into the suburbs for that one.
Made it back to New York, didn't he?
So Ray Wershing, he's a newcomer, 4 years with San Diego. He just joined the club on Thursday. He probably hasn't met all the players
That's
yet.
what he's doing right there, shaking hands.
And his first attempt for San Francisco, he kicked a 50-yard field goal, and he has kind of sat around all the rest of the day, just kicked a point after. Giants 20, 49ers 10. 10 minutes left to go in the ball game. Those are the numbers and how the San Francisco 49ers got on the board. Now Pisarcik with Spencer in front of Hammond. And it's Hammond. Following Spencer, down he goes. He was trying to guide him with his hand.
Cedric Hartman, someone put a burr under him. He went nuts that time.
Hammond is the boy you remember. Busted one for about 63 yards. The most exciting single play today.
He's been playing sparingly, but he's, despite that, he's the leading rusher for the Giants this year. Going into today's game, anyhow.
Looking at double threes, Bob Hammond. Robinson wide left, Marshall wide right. Here comes Hammond. And he gets out across the 25. Bob Hammond was released by New Orleans, and he was cut once by the Giants. Out of Morgan State, a free agent in '75. He's had 2 years. He's only 5'10", 170. He's 25 years old. He's the boy we told you about, who plays guitar and the bass for the gospel group conducted by his father.
And travels a lot.
Travels well.
Team to team.
Joe Pisarcik, who traveled. He used to play in the Canadian Football League. He's come down to New York to thaw out. 3rd and 5 from the 25. And a blitz. McGill missed him. And there goes Hammond. Oh, Ralph McGill on a safety blitz gambled and just missed his man.
And that gamble just very closely played off. Very nearly paid off.
Watch number 49, Ralph McGill.
He doesn't do anything. McGill doesn't do anything half speed. Look at that. He didn't know which he. One hand for one hand for the other one. Hammond's got great quickness, though. Surprising. He didn't look that good at New Orleans. I guess when you're on the waiver path, you decide you want a home.
Yep.
Like the Bo Weevil, I'm looking for a home.
Dave Jennings will have to punt 4th and 3, and he'll be punting a high snap, but he got it away and barely. It was deflected, and I believe it'll be running into the kicker, charge to Bruce Elia. Anthony Leonard finally comes up with the ball, and Anthony Leonard, who was injured moments ago, has the ball, but Dave Jennings will have Bruce Elia, number 55, in his lap on this punt.
Now the question is, did they get any part of that ball? If they did, there should be no penalty.
Here's Elia.
Let's see. There's Elia, and he did not get anywhere close to it. Oh, mistakes like that can really hurt you. Well, that's obvious enough, isn't it?
It was a 4th and 3 situation. This will be an automatic first down.
Think of the field position they would have had, too.
Tell you, Elia had to pay a little price. It really looked like he was kicked in the head.
It surely did.
And the fellow who knows about that, Ralph McGill, 2 years ago, was kicked in the head by Tom Dempsey.
I did that game out in Los Angeles. That was a scary thing. He'd lay on the ground there for, 30 minutes, I guess.
Let me get the report. Okay, a silent report, but we had picked it off. Running into the kicker, charge against Bruce Elia, an automatic first down for the Giants. So Joe Pisarcik will come back in at the wheel. We have 8 minutes and 2 seconds. And of course, the one thing the 49ers wanted was the ball, and they've just lost the opportunity to drive in and get close.
They wanted the momentum. That's what momentum is, having the football.
San Francisco,
And there's the play.
the kicker,
Bruce
first
Elia.
down.
It's too bad to pay the price when you're really trying to do your job, but that's what happened. So the Giants hold on to the ball, take over 1st and 10 from their own 32. Robinson is right. Moorhead left. And it's Willie Spencer, ran right through the grass, but Dave Washington, and there are flags on the play.
Didn't see any infraction, but I'll see a face mask up. Holding. You know, it just seems like when a team gets behind, that all the calls go in their favor.
Yeah.
Maybe in my imagination, but it sure seems like it.
Number 63, New York, holding.
Doug Van Horn. A guilty party that time. Yeah, Detroit's getting back into action there. Greg Landry hitting Ray Jarvis on a 9-yard scoring pass for Detroit.
1st and 20 from the Giant 22-yard line. Marshall is wide left, Robinson wide right. And Robinson has not had the ball all day today, which is somewhat of a surprise. Hammond hit hard. Down he goes shy of the 25.
No, we haven't mentioned Jimmy Robinson. He's having an outstanding year with the Giants.
He's number 1 in the National Football League on average, 25.5 yards per average catch. He's caught 11, and they haven't even knocked on his door today.
Had an 80-yard touchdown pass last week and a 78-yard, not a touchdown, but a 78-yard completion the week before.
Of course, Pisarcik is not throwing. He is 2 for 7 for 47 yards. One of them was a 37-yard touchdown to Gary Shirk. Hammond across the 30, leaving Niners in his wake. So Bob Hammond making the most of an opportunity.
Boy, you can't know the feeling of being put on waivers until you've been put on waivers. Nobody wants to talk to you. You're just looking for a place to land, because after all said and done, you hear about the big salaries. Most of these boys just want to play football.
Yeah, 3rd and 11. The nickel defense now looking for the pass is San Francisco. We'll see what Pisarcik does. Spencer and Hammond, and it's Hammond following Spencer. Gets out across the 35. Washington was on top and Ralph McGill on the bottom. But not enough, not nearly enough for any kind of a first down, and they'll have to punt again. So we have 6 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the game. 20-10 in favor of the Giants. Anthony Leonard will go back in a single safety. He had his bell rung much earlier on his own tackle. And Dave Jennings, who has been a busy man, will be doing the kicking. He's a third cousin of Carlton Fisk. And he hangs one. And Leonard's just going to let it bounce. And it takes a 49er bounce and picked up by Bruce Elia. And Elia is knocked down by Kelly. So you got a house full of 5s. 55 knocks down 55. Well, we got 5:48 left to go in the ball game. The Giants holding on to an early lead, leading San Francisco 20-10.
Energy for a stronger America.
Excuse me, Mr. Johnson. Yeah? Do you know you're one of America's most valuable energy sources?
I am?
That insulation you're installing isn't only going to save you a lot of money.
Yeah?
It's going to help our country save energy.
So?
So thank you.
You're welcome.
By saving energy, you're helping hold down foreign imports, while companies like Exxon develop other energy sources like coal, nuclear fuel, and solar power. Energy for a strong America.
Alcoa can't wait.
Here they come,
pouring in from California and Vermont, from Texas, Oklahoma, and Georgia, from all over the country. Billions of used aluminum cans headed for recycling. Today, about 1 out of 4 aluminum cans is recycled and used again. Tomorrow, maybe 1 out of 3. Someday, maybe every one of them.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
Jim Plunkett is 10 for 16 today for 141 yards. No touchdowns through the air, and he has had 1 interception. 1st and 10 from the San Francisco 45. 5:48 left in the game. Complete to Paul Seal, the tight end, and Powers finally wrestles him down to the ground. He still has about 3 yards to go for a first down. Paul Seal making the reception.
I like Plunkett's approach, though. He's not trying to get rich too soon, because you know that those Giants are going to be back here in the deep coverages and the zone defenses and all. You just got to take what they give you.
Well, they gave him 7, so it'll be 2nd and 3. The ball on the 47-yard line of New York. Gene Washington wide right. Jim Lash wide left. Farrell and Hofer, the running back. Play action fake. And Plunkett going deep to Washington. Touchdown! Oh, what a play!
Now, there you are. That's the Gene Washington I know. He adjusts on the football about as well as any man had ever put on shoulder pads.
47-yard touchdown pass. Plunkett to Washington.
Oh, I love to see it. Gene Washington, what a receiver he is. Certainly one of the tops in football today and maybe all time. Look at the adjustment on the ball. Look at the adjustment on this ball.
Bill Bryant on top of him.
Bill Bryant right on top of him, but look at how he holds on and controls it, and in addition to that, drags himself right on into the end zone. The mark of a champion.
A magnificent reception by Gene Washington. And hey, now the 49ers are in the ball game with 5 minutes left to go. It's 20-16, and Wersching gets it up and good. And so all of a sudden, Ray Wersching, Gene Washington, Jim Plunkett, and the 49ers are very much in the thick of things. With 5 minutes and 1 second left to go in the ball game, Giants 20, 49ers 17 on this 47-yard bomb.
As you saw, the protection was there. He had plenty of time, and Jim Plunkett again mystifies you because he puts the ball right there. But the total concentration of Gene Washington here, holding on to that ball, Bryant doing everything in the world to try to get away from him and making it into the end zone. Oh, I love it.
And so San Francisco languishing all day long, looking flat and listless. And now they're alive. It is 20-17 Giants. 5 minutes and 1 second left to go. Going deep, Gordon Bell and Bob Hammond. Bell number 25, Hammond 33, and Ray Wersching, who has indeed made his contributions as the newest member of the 49ers, ready to kick off from his 35. Not too deep, and it'll be Gordon Bell, and he's going to stay there with it. That ball carried more than we thought. So the Giants will take it over 1st and 10 from their own 20. 4:54 left to go in the game. And there you see it, 2 plays, one of them for 47 yards from Jim Plunkett to Gene Washington. John McVay, 46 years old, a center at Miami of Ohio under Woody Hayes and Ara Parseghian. He's in the Hall of Fame in Miami of Ohio, and he is on the hook now, trying to hold on to a 3-point lead. There has been a flag dropped on the kick. It'll be offsides against San Francisco. That means Wersching will have to kick it from the 30.
Vin Scully, do you get the feel that the 49ers, when they started juggling some of their reserve players in there, really picked up a little bit? Some of these backup players started playing regularly, and it picked up the tempo?
I would say certainly that fellows like Hammond and Spencer have done an electrifying job for New York in their second string, and the same thing for San Francisco, because their backup men, Bob Farrell and Paul Hofer, have done the same thing.
Along with Paul Seal.
Yep.
It seems to have given them a lift.
I was going to say it took a hungry player, but when you look at these two teams, one is 0-4, the other is 1-3. There can't be a fat cat down there.
No.
Hats off, and a low bow from the waist to the juice. O.J. Simpson has rushed for over 100 yards again, 10,000 in his career. Wershing. Bob Hammond from the end zone to the 20. And hit hard by Jim Obradovich out of USC and decked as he crossed the 20-yard line. So now the Giants leading by 3 with 4 minutes and 44 seconds left to go in the ball game. They'll put it in play 1st and 10 from their own 23. And for the 49ers, they want to get their hands on the ball.
And watch them come. They're going to play that line of scrimmage, and they should be playing that run.
Zonka is in there with Hammond. Robinson is left. Moorhead right. Second man, Hammond still on his feet. Out to the 30-yard line. Bob Hammond doing a fine job. Doug Coter came into this game with bad ribs and apparently took a lick or two and has not been seen since.
I noticed the 49ers have made some substitutions in their defensive line. Ed Gallagher, who came from the Jets, I guess, playing in there now, and so is Bill Cook, and I haven't seen them all day.
Right. 2nd and 3 from the Giant 30. 4 minutes, 11 seconds left to go. Zonka hit head on by Bruce Elia, number 55. And Elia has gotten a lot of playing time today. You have to remember the 49ers lost great young linebacker Willie Harper almost on the first play of the game.
Elia, I think, played in the middle last year, so this is a new position for him.
Right, and he's really gotten into the thick of things. Of course, he was also involved in that punt with Dave Jennings that kept the ball in New York's hands for 3 more plays. 3rd and 2 from the 31. Moorhead left and Robinson right. Zonka and Coter is back in. And it's Coter. And I don't know. From this angle, it's hard to say. It's very close whether he made the first down or not. And the officials will measure. So Doug Coter finally makes an appearance. And double fours moved it awfully close to the first down.
There's some anxious faces among those coaches right now on both sides.
3 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the game. Well, they're going to measure.
There's the 2 defensive tackles we were speaking of, Bill Cook and Ed Gallagher.
Any portion of the ball.
He's short.
Inches. And leading, they're not going to take any chances. Dave Jennings is coming in. Look at that. I wonder who's pitching.
And O.J.'s run for over 100 yards in that game and still just 3 points. That's surprising. Atlanta can't get their offense on track, but they have been a surprisingly good team this year.
The Giants have missed a first down, I would guess, by 2 inches. And now Dave Jennings will be punting to Anthony Leonard. Leonard standing inside his own 30. Jennings will be kicking from his own 20-yard line. Three minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the ball game. They're not coming. They're dropping back for protection. And Leonard will not be able to make a return, and the Giants will down it at the 29-yard line. Jim Peterzak was down there to down it inside the 30. And now for San Francisco, it's all on the table. 2 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the ball game. They have to travel 69 yards, just about 70. It is 20-17 Giants.
And I think they have all their timeouts left, do they not?
Plunkett with Washington left, Harrison right, Paul Seal is the tight end. Over the middle to Hofer. And he is hit shy of the 35-yard line by Carson and Van Pelt. Not enough for the first down, but as you mentioned earlier, Alex, he's not trying to get rich in a hurry.
No, sir. He's got his timeouts left, and then he will have the timeout that comes with a 2-minute warning, so there's plenty of time left. It's a matter of sustaining the drive.
Jim Plunkett has been playing professionally since 1971, so he calmly brings him up. Washington right, Lash left. And Plunkett is going to run. Gregory Mendenhall and the rest chasing him, and he goes into a slide, I think just shy of the first down. But it was Carson coming up to hit him, and he slid into Carson. Let's see. Right at the first down line.
Now, I'm not nitpicking here at all, Vin, but it would appear to me that he'd go ahead and make the first down, make sure he had that before he went down.
Well, there's the 2-minute warning. Giants 20 and San Francisco 17.
With the price of most things going up, the sticker price of Pinto, the best-selling American small car, is coming down. As of October 3rd, new 78 model Pintos with more standard features will have a lower sticker price than last year's model comparably equipped. Important features are now standard, like AM radio, power front disc brakes, rear window defroster, tinted glass, and protective body side moldings. Ford Pinto, more car for the money than last year. Also, Ford has announced substantial sticker price reductions on their sporty 1978 Mustang IIs. And Fiesta, with Europe's most successful new car introduction in history, has already become a sales success in America. Then there's Ford's newest better idea, Fairmont. Fairmont is roomy, but with mileage like a small car. And even this Fairmont wagon is base sticker priced lower than a four-door VW Rabbit. So the Ford dealers seem to have the edge in choice and value. Pinto at a lower sticker price, Mustang at a lower sticker price, Fiesta, a new import success, and Fairmont, a new car for a new age. At Ford, the better ideas keep coming.
With 2 minutes left to go in the ball game, that calculated slide by Jim Plunkett was just good by inches to give San Francisco a first down.
And my apologies to Jim Plunkett for that. He knew exactly where he was, didn't he?
He was right on the money. He didn't give you a nickel's change, though. Kenny Harrison goes right. Gene Washington left. Hofer and Jackson are the running backs. Seal the tight end. Plunkett to Jackson. To the 40. To the 45. Across midfield. Great second effort by Wilbur Jackson, picking up a first down to the Giant 49. 1 minute, 44 seconds. You can see it ticking away.
Once again, great play selection there. You've got to give those offensive linemen a little help with that hard-charging Giant defensive front four. They're going after the passer.
And it's complete to Paul Seal, the tight end, at the Giant 40-yard line. And hold everything. They are indicating a holding penalty against San Francisco.
Uh-oh. And that's hurt the 49ers all year long, is costly penalties in situations like that.
They were only 1 yard shy of a first down on that pass completion, but they blow it all on the holding call.
Holding number 69, San Francisco.
Woody, how could you do it? Woody Peoples.
A 9-year veteran out of Grambling. Plunkett is 14 for 20, 213 yards, and 1 for a 47-yard touchdown to Gene Washington. First and 20 from the 41. Gregory had him, and down he goes.
Boy, that's the lift you look for a veteran like that who had some great years. You got, of course, Gregory. Everybody knows they got him from Cleveland a few years back, and he's had the year he got here 21 sacks or something like that. But that's what you look for, is leadership from your old dudes.
Gregory almost jerked the shirt off Plunkett. In fact, you can see he did. There's the shoulder pad sticking out. And as Gregory was choking him with one hand, Troy Archer then came up to bury him. And so that was a tough lick. The ball is back on the 30. Now, just to show you the change of fortunes, Plunkett had completed a pass to Paul Seal to the 40-yard line of the Giants. And there was a holding on that, now a sack, and they've gone from the Giant 40 to the San Francisco 30. That's losing yardage in a hurry.
A difference of a couple downs and 30 yards.
Okay, come up with a 2nd and 30 for me with 1 minute and 19 to go.
That's when the coach usually leaves and goes up to the booth.
I remember Sonny Jurgensen telling me one time he came to the sidelines and said to Vince Lombardi on a play similar to this, 2nd and 30. Lombardi said, I didn't make it 2nd and 30. You come up with the play.
You got us there, you get us out.
Right. And that's Plunkett's dilemma right now as he talks it all over with Kenny Myers. Plunkett to repeat. Now that we've had to scratch what we thought was a completed pass to Paul Seal. 213 yards, 14 out of 20. 1 interception, that by linebacker Brian Kelly. 1 touchdown, 47 yards to Gene Washington on a remarkable catch. So 2nd and 30 from the 30. Let's see what they come up with. He's got to get to the New York 39. Good protection. And now Jeter got him, but he got away from him. Plunkett still looking. Throwing as far as he can for Harrison. No good. Kenny Harrison with Bill Bryant all over him, and there's a flag on the play. And in looking at the Giant reaction, they think it's against San Francisco. It is holding against San Francisco.
So close and yet so far. Keith Barnhorst did such an incredible job that time on Gary Jeter. It showed the strength that this man possesses. Brother Heaton, no, I can't say what I was going to, but he gave him a lick.
He did indeed, and Plunkett all over the field. There was blue pouring in like a great tide out of the Pacific, and Plunkett almost had his head torn off by Jeter and then wound up and threw and missed Harrison. But there's the holding call.
Holding number 77, San Francisco.
That's Gene Barrett. But it is not so much the guilt of Woody Peoples and Gene Barrett. It is the inspired defensive play of that Giant front four.
You summed it up.
Oh,
that is true.
So the ball now is at the 20. So where they had completed a pass on the Giant 39, they've gone backwards on a couple of holding calls, but the clock goes forward. 2nd and 40. It's to Paul Hofer, and he gets across the 30, but he's 10 minutes away by phone. 54 seconds to go in the ball game. Timeout San Francisco. The Giants 20, San Francisco 17.
I wouldn't be going away from your sets, though, because all they do, they need 3 points to tie the ball game up, and really it would be 2 completions, and they would be within range.
Well, as Jim Plunkett comes over to talk to Kenny Myers again, we'd like to remind you on the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday, it'll be a battle of heavyweights. Leon Spinks and Scott Ledoux, Michael Spinks and Gary Summerhays, Bernardo Mercado and Greg Johnson. And then if that's not enough, we have the world's strongest men competition. That'll all coming up next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Boy, the Spinks boys really excited me in the Olympics. They put on a show, didn't they?
Sure did. Well, Plunkett has Kenny Harrison in the game, Jim Lash coming out of the game. And of course, in this kind of a spot, Gene Washington probably will have double coverage because he is the one man who can really come up with a game buster.
I would think at least double coverage. And possibly more than that, but with the speed that Kenny Harrison's got, you can't ignore him either.
All right, Harrison comes wide right, Washington left. It is 3rd and 29. Mendenhall, and brought down by Gregory. Mendenhall and Gregory sack Plunkett.
With 5 players to block 3 men, you wouldn't think that could happen, would you? But
timeout San Francisco.
Jack Gregory with another big play.
Look at that face. That tells you an awful lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, can 5 people hold out those 3 people for just a little while? I need time. I got a lot of yards to make up.
When you look at the size of some of the defensive players for the Giants, Jeter at 6'4", Archer 6'4", Gregory 6'5". The smallest man up front is Mendenhall, 6'1", and Plunkett is 6'2", so he can barely see over them as they really put the heat on him. And John McVay, 46-year-old. He came out of, well, 9 years in high school. He was an assistant coach at Michigan State under Duffy Daugherty. Head coach at Dayton University for 5 years. Coached Memphis of the World Football League from 74 and 75. He joined New York in April of '76 as the assistant coach in research and player development. replaced Bill Arnsparger October 25, 1976, with the Giant record 0-7. He has 3 sons. One is a defensive back who tried out with the Giants in 1975. He has another, a former quarterback at Dayton, and he has a son who is a safety man at Indiana U. Sorry, I don't have his blood type.
That'll do.
Fourth and 38. 23-yard line. They're not coming this time. They'll let him crank up and throw deep to Paul Seal in a crowd. Everybody was there but Governor Carey.
That's about the only chance he had that time. There's just too many yards, and he had to look for something freaky to happen or a pass interference, which would give him an automatic first down.
That was unreal. Paul Seal was a small island in a sea of blue.
You hit it there.
Oh, take another look at this.
As you see, there's only 3 men up on that defensive line for the New York Jets. Even so, Gregory gets some pressure on him. And look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 1. Hardly any hope, but it was the only chance he had. Did I say, okay, the New York Giants second here. All right.
Well, the Giants take it over, of course, with time running out. Joe Pisarcik with Dick. Whoa! Holy mackerel. Did you see Mel Phillips wind up and try and cop a Sunday on Al Dixon, number 84?
You're looking at my nose. He did it to me on the West Coast one time.
Is that where you got that, Ben?
Well, that's one of the places.
Take a look at this one.
Watch number 32. Come into your picture here and watch his left arm. Right about
here. Here comes.
Woo. Oh. Come on, Mel. That don't seem quite cricket.
Well, the time has run out, 32 seconds, and the Giants holding on to the ball. Here's the call, but of course you saw it. Number 32, first down. Number 32, an angry, overextended Mel Phillips tried to deck Al Dixon.
That comes out of the heat of frustration.
Been a long afternoon. He's carrying the time on his back as well as the load of the whole day. 20-17 Giants. Spencer, Coder, Zonka, and Pisark. And down he goes. We should tell you a little bit. On the West Coast, you probably don't know very much about Joe Pisarcik. P-I-S-A-R-C-I-K. There is Jim Plunkett. And Plunkett can just sit and wait as time runs out. Joe Pisarcik is a rookie out of New Mexico State. He is 6'3", 220, 25, and he has piloted the Giants to a 20-17 victory over the San Francisco 49ers. And for San Francisco, down they go, their worst year since 1963. They lose 20-17.
Come on, old trademark. Time for your walk. What's the hurry? I know where we're going. To where your family began. With the same Levi's blue jeans worn by this man. Hey, you've come quite a ways, little registered Mark. Now that I see these guys by the park dressed in your newest edition, sums it up right there. Levi's sportswear. Trademark, I know what you'd say if you could. Levi's don't have to be blue, just have to be good.
Pabst Blue Ribbon wouldn't dare challenge anyone to take on the raging Colorado in a wooden boat. But we do challenge you to discover a better tasting premium beer. Taste and compare Pabst with the beer you're now drinking. We know you'll taste the difference Blue Ribbon quality makes. Pabst, since 1844, the quality has always come through.
2 minutes and 7 seconds left in Buffalo. Atlanta trailing by a field goal. Let's check the scoreboard right now. The story there is that the Falcons just missed on a 4th and 1 and turned the ball over inside their 6-yard line. Elsewhere around the league this afternoon, Detroit under pressure as the Packers score for the first time in the second half all year. St. Louis behind Jimmy Hart, leading Philadelphia 21-10. Eagles playing strongly in the fourth quarter. And, of course, the game you just watched, San Francisco rallied, but they gave away too much in the first half, but give them credit for not quitting this afternoon. Baltimore, 17, Kansas City, 6. Another final score just in. And Chicago and Minnesota. They have just started the third quarter, 13-6. Avellini threw a touchdown pass to Rather, and then they missed the extra point. The Cleveland Browns spotted Houston 10 points. The Oilers playing without Dante Pastorini, and John Hadel came in. Then they went back to Pastorini, and look at what has happened. They are now behind the Browns by 1 point, second quarter, 21-20. Now, many of you have heard the story, and some of you haven't. Time magazine tomorrow is going to break a report that Reggie Jackson insists he will not return to the New York Yankees next year under any circumstances if Billy Martin remains a manager. So I've got Pete Rose back in here because I find this story so hard to believe. Here is a team 1 victory away from winning a world championship, and you've got a ball player dictating to management what he wants to do, Pete.
Well, I'm sure right now that's the utmost thing on both of their minds is winning the 4th game of the World Series, which gives them the World Championship, and they probably don't care what's going to happen next year, and I don't believe the story myself.
Yeah, because it would be so hard.
They were hugging each other yesterday and very happy with the outcome of yesterday's game and looking forward to today's game, and I just don't think that the story means anything.
Pete, I'm going to bring in the voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who called the broadcast out there today between the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. Vin Scully now is on our remote, and Vin, I'd like to ask you, what do you think the problems are that the Dodgers have been facing in this series, not playing like they did all year?
Well, I guess really Pete could answer it a lot better than I could. It happens during the course of any year. A ball club has a couple of days where they're flat. They just don't seem to do what they normally do, and they have plenty of time to make up for it. When it happens in the playoff, as it did to the Phillies or Kansas City, when it happens in the World Series, you don't have that great time to recover. And I know Pete sitting there, you can think of dead spots during the year that the Reds had, and all you need to have is a 3-day dead spot in the World Series, and you're dead.
Good pitching does that too, right, Vin?
And how? The old story that good pitching takes care of all the hitting in the world, and it usually comes out on top. Although, to be honest, going into the World Series, I thought the Dodgers would win it, three or 4 in a row after maybe losing 1 game to Gullet. Now, of course, I'm wrong as I can be.
Then we may all be shoveling dirt on them a little bit too quickly. They certainly have got 1 loss ahead of them to stay in this. Let's talk a little bit about Don Sutton. You and Pete know him so well.
Well, he's a breaking ball pitcher, and he's a consistent pitcher, and he's a good bunter, and he gets the bat on the ball, and he keeps the guys close to first base. He helps the team in more ways than just throwing a ball 60 feet 6 inches. And if I had a game that I need to win of all the Dodger pitchers, I'd like to have Sutton out there.
You agree with that, Vin?
Oh, and how? Sutton, of all the pitchers on the ball club, first of all, he is the heir apparent to the role of Don Drysdale. He is the one, as Pete said, who gets the ball for the big game, and he has done it for 11 years. And, of course, he was the one who helped them get to the playoffs. He was the one to get them started properly in the playoffs. I was a little surprised in the World Series. After all, they gave him I think it was a 2-0 lead, and it got away on him. The chances are, with his confidence, his complete feeling that he can win any time going out, that he will win today's game. Unless, and I couldn't believe it, Pete, the way they were talking about Don Gullet with a sore arm, and then you saw him. How could a man throw the ball like that?
96 mile an hour,
yeah, I couldn't believe that. So Gullet doesn't have a sore arm, and now suddenly everything is scrambled.
Okay. Vin, excuse me, Pete, we got to pay some bills around here. Vin, have a nice trip back to Los Angeles.
Delighted
Thank you
to
very
go back.
much.
Thank you.
And the NFL Today will continue on CBS in just a moment.
Cold night, Bob. Did you put in the Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone, Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone, Prestone. You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone, Prestone. We need Prestone. Prestone,
Prestone,
Prestone.
Prestone. You need Prestone.
America, you've been changing.
Coming, going, changing, growing. The things that make up life.
Why is Bank AmeriCard becoming Visa? To keep up with you.
You're traveling, you're moving, you're taking more from life.
Today you need money that's good around the corner, all across America, and in 117 countries around the world. That's why Bank AmeriCard is becoming Visa, the most widely recognized card in the world. Visa, we're keeping up with you.
A little bit of everything going on. 21-17 Cardinals over the Eagles. The Eagles just score. Right now, let's go up live and show you what's happening in the Atlanta-Buffalo game. It is 3-0 right now in that contest. Buffalo is ahead. They're holding on. This should be about 2nd and 10. Scott Hunter is up. You are watching live. 1:43 right now. They've got to get down there to try and get a tying field goal. Incomplete right now. That's the time left in that game right there. 1 minute and 38 seconds. Let's point out that the great O.J. Simpson in that contest has passed the 10,000-yard mark. He thus becomes only the second runner in the history of professional football to achieve that tremendous standard. And so, time running out. Atlanta was a slight favorite, and they're trying to come back. We'll keep you up to date, but let's check in on some other highlights right now in that game before the action you just saw in the fourth quarter. Now, this is taped action. This is not live. We're going to show you O.J. Simpson going for a first down to set up the field goal. Here it comes right here. Now, remember, this is taped action. The Juice, and they kicked it. It was 3-0. Now, Neil O'Donohue will kick the field goal, 3-0, with 1:33. They have just turned the ball over now to Buffalo, and here's the play that gives Simpson 10,000 yards in his fabulous career. There he was, right there. And I was just watching a replay on Scott Hunter back to throw the ball. It was incomplete. It was not intercepted, so they're still holding on right now. All right, Irv, what have you got going over there?
We have a lot of close calls there. The Philadelphia Eagles are trailing the St. Louis Cardinals 21-17. Before we do that, let's get back up to Buffalo and find out what's going live out of Buffalo.
1:30 is live.
He throws. It's caught by Alfred Jenkins. It's a first down. Alfred Jenkins catches the ball at the 70-yard line.
Alfred Jenkins made the catch.
Hunter with beautiful cool as he rolls out.
So Micah Meyer now getting a little bit closer. He can kick the field goal to tie this game. You're watching live. Now here is Alfred Jenkins. He has had a fabulous career. Takes his one bump. That's all he can get. Goes to the sideline right now, and Scott Hunter has got Jenkins. And look how perfectly he's working that sidelines. Watch how he works right there. Both feet coming down inbounds. Now, let's go back right now to Vin Scully as we watch Hunter. Woo! We've got everything going on right now, don't we? I can't stay up with all the action. How are the Eagles and the Cardinals doing out there? I see that one's still 21-17 right now. St. Louis is holding on there with Jimmy Hart, of course, trying to do the job. Now we are clear. Let's go back to Giant Stadium, and here's Vin Scully. Vin?
Okay, Brent. Well, down on the field, Doug Van Horn and Gary Jeter. Color them blue, giant blue, as they won. Let's go to Alex Hawkins.
Down here on the field, we've got Gary Jeter to my left, and we've got Doug Van Horn on my right. And Doug, first, I want to congratulate you on a fine victory today.
Well, thank you. It's been about 3 games in coming. We had pretty tough defense we played against today, but we hung in there, and our special teams really played super for us. Defense played well when they had to, and we came out with a win. We're really happy.
You had your hands full this afternoon with Cleveland Elam, huh?
Well, he's the best I've ever faced, and I've been playing this league 12 years now, and I think he's an outstanding young defensive lineman.
Doug, I don't want to spoil the moment, but there has been some talk about dissension on this team, and I just asked you a little while ago, and I would like for you to tell me how you feel about your team and your coach and the situation.
Well, our coach, John McVay, he just exudes enthusiasm and carries over into the players. Anytime you're losing, you're going to have guys grumbling and moaning, and when you win, you get everybody's happy. So it's just a natural part of the game. So we want to win, so we can eliminate that.
It's nothing that a win won't cure, is it?
That's right.
Congratulations again on the fine
victory.
Gary, you were a busy boy today.
Yeah, man, I was trying to get to Plunkett all day, man.
I understand that near the end there, you were going in and out and all. It gets tired chasing him back there, huh?
Yeah, but, you know, a couple times I think Troy came through on him, and they was double teaming on my side, and I fell down. I got up, I missed Plunkett, was chasing him around, but you know we finally got him. Jack we went into a prevent defense late, and it took me out, and then Jack came through on the side.
Right before the half, I thought you'd gone crazy. I thought we were doing the Gary Jeter show. You were in on nearly every tackle.
Well, you know, I've played some good games, but I've been making a lot of mistakes, and you know, I just want to prove that I can play in the National Football League.
Well, you certainly have come a long way since the start of the season. I know you're going to have continued improvement. Keith Fahnhorst is a fine offensive tackle.
Yes, he is. You know, he's a good drive blocker, and he sets up real deep on pass. You know, so it's really hard to get to him and do the moves that we practice. But you know, I've been having a hard week of practice, and the veterans like Van Horn and Gravel and Mikolojek have really been helping me out, along with Gregory and Mendenhall, and I've been really, you know, really coming along. I hope I can continue to do, you know, as well as I've been doing.
What is, and I've always wondered this myself, what is a #1 draft choice in a city like New York? What is the pressure on you?
Man, it's tremendous, man. You know, it's like you get your name in the paper all the time. If you do good, if you do bad, you know, if you do anything, man, you know, like where I go to eat, that's in the paper. So it's a lot of pressures, man, you know, but I played college football in Los Angeles, and, you know, I got a mild taste of it, and I'm just starting to settle down and just play football right now.
Gary, you've got a great future ahead of you. Congratulations again on the win. Doug, thank you. Now we'll take you back upstairs.
Thank you, Alex. The final score again, the Giants getting out early, holding on to beat the Giants, beating the San Francisco 49ers 20-17.
Alcoa can't wait.
Highway light poles can be treacherous, especially if they stop your car dead on impact. That's why Alcoa helped develop this special aluminum light pole system that breaks away on impact. The aluminum pole takes the beating instead of you. Breakaway aluminum poles are out there saving lives right now.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
Down the Columbia, the Willamette, the Siuslaw, from the great renewable forests, they come. Logs. Logs to build a better America. And Homelight is there. Homelight, the king. Rugged as the men who run it. Men who fell the mighty fir and see it rise again. When the time in your life comes to get a chainsaw, get the king. Homelight, the chainsaw king.
A recap of the scoring. San Francisco had Ray Wersching kick a 50-yard field goal to lead 3-0, but Joe Dinello came back and kicked one from 22 to tie it up 3-3. Then on a 37-yard touchdown pass from Joe Pisarcik to Gary Shirk, the Giants went out in front 10-3. After a blocked punt, the Giants recovered, and Spencer drove over from the 1-yard line. Dinello later on kicked a 23-yard field goal, and it looked like it was going to be all Giants. San Francisco battled back. Wilbur Jackson carried over from the 2 to get a little bit close. The point was made to make it 20-10. An electrifying 47-yard pass play that went from Jim Plunkett to Gene Washington suddenly made it 20-17. But the 49ers unable to get back and hung $3 short as the Giants held on to win it 20-17. We can tell you that Buffalo has evidently intercepted a pass from Scott Hunter, and right now they're freezing the ball with about 1 minute to play in that Buffalo-Atlanta game. Here in Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Vin Scully along with Alex Hawkins. Hawk, I guess the big problem for San Francisco, they were flat at the start, and as you pointed out, they were slow going on and off the field, and then when they finally did catch fire, it was too late.
Vinny, I can't hear you. I've lost communication, but it is a thrill to be here. I enjoyed the ball game today. You know, going in, we kind of thought that the records of the two clubs, we wouldn't have much of a football game, but it turned out to be just the opposite of that. What a great game it was.
It was a great game, and evidently a great game up there. Buffalo comes up to be the winner thanks to that last-ditch interception, and they sit on the ball as time runs out. A big day in the life of O.J. Simpson. My, he has had a lot of them as he runs for over 100 yards, 10,000 yards in his career. Here at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the Giants won their second. They have now beaten San Francisco 6 out of 8 times. And for San Francisco, a very dark hour, not only in the history of the ball club, but for the career of Coach Kenny Myers, because the last time the Giants, San Francisco, started off 0-5 was way back in 1963, and they'll be flying home tonight with a record of 0-5. This is Vin Scully for Alex Hawkins saying goodbye from Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, great heavyweight action from Las Vegas. Olympic gold medalist Leon Spinks takes on hard-hitting Scott Ledoux. Bernardo Mercado faces Greg Johnson. Michael Spinks, Leon's younger brother, meets Gary Summerhays in a light heavyweight match. Also, more fun with the world's strongest men competition from California. All coming up next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular. That's the final. Giants 20 and San Francisco 17. Vin Scully for Alex Hawkins. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
Suppose you're taken hostage. Suppose you learn your husband is a homosexual. Suppose your doctor tells you you have heart disease.